Hey guys.
Peoples.
Hello, Mr. Cook.
Awesome. Cheers.
Cheers. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Where's the waiter?
You guys aren't ready? Perfect.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Gone down the path, got down, and now moving up to the next mountaintop, aren't we?
You guys are on autopilot now, right? Fifth time?
Well, I wish it was that simple.
Yeah. Oh. How the... Oh.
Oh, I'm hearing you fine.
Yeah. So maybe it's not going out through the stream.
No. Oh, Ballmax.
Yeah.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, Jace.
So some technical difficulties, as always, to start the proceedings.
Welcome to the Vintage Bash.
Yeah, that's normal. It's part of...
Shakedown.
Yeah.
Continuous improvement. Okay, well, that's easy.
All right. Well, I'm assuming, Jason, you can hear everyone else on the live stream. If you want to reply in the comments so we can get a confirmation, it'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, Stuart Tierney reckons he's going to make up his own words for Piggy.
Just get him to write everything down.
Yeah.
Or sign language.
Yeah.
Just be clean, Cookie. Just be clean. Yeah, be clean. Hey, caramba, banana. Well, look at this. It's a new panel. We've got the wonderful Mr. Knight on board. It's fantastic.
Very honoured to be here. Thank you, guys.
So for those that don't know, James has jumped on board with the Vintage Bash for the last couple of years now. And this year he's taken control of the 1989 four-wheel drive revival.
Yeah.
So he's the man behind the cars and everything else. Big set of shoes to fill, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if control's the right word there, Louis. I think more like chief cat herder.
Well, yes. Yeah,
We like cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been good so far. I mean, we've had a bunch of people volunteer, which has been awesome.
Yep.
And now we're just working through getting it done. So I think I'm finished. I want to sort of set the standard, try and get it done quickly as possible. We got.
Can we see something?
Yeah, I've got something here. So I think it was Bash 2 where you guys gave me an award for like my Masami 89 replica, which was built with original parts. Went to great lengths to try and get everything right on this one. But actually for the 89 Bash where we're going to run them, I thought I'd have to build another one. So this one...
So it's a replica of the replica.
It's a replica of the replica, exactly. So this is built on a re-re, so I'm a little less precious of it, and it'll be actually fun to smash it around the track in obviously exhibition style.
Yep.
It's got a few things that are a bit better than the original I made, but it's got currently it's got
Some good Velcro.
yeah, it's got some good Velcro. It's got period correct but updated, and well they're nickel metal hydride cells to look like NiCad cells. But this is the re-release gearboxes, and then Paul from Berserk did a really nice. He's done a beautiful Masami replica chassis for the re gearboxes because the dims are a little different. And then I've tried to sort of keep the electronics in the same place, and they're obviously not the vintage electronics, so we want to be able to run this. And I know you guys are sorting out a sponsor for the motor, which is going to, I'm sure we'll have an announcement later on that, but everything else is sort of as close as I could get to the original. And then just to really sort of embrace the event, thanks to one of them, I've got the Masami was famous for using the KO Propose sticks. So this is not really a run because it's the 2.4 gigahertz, but I'm going to drive sticks for the first time in like, I don't know.
Oh no!
Oh, Mr. Knight.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So-
Or anyone else who's driving it. So good luck.
So we expect to see the opposite to what happened to Rory Cole when he drove the wheel.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
turn, Rory.
Yeah. So instead of turning off the track, you probably turn into the spectators or something.
Yeah, but I did
good.
start the hobby on sticks. So hopefully I don't think
You might
Rory
have half a chance.
ever drove a gun controller, did he?
No, he did.
So
He tried.
He did?
He tried.
Okay.
Yeah.
But not back in the day.
No,
Not back in the day.
Oh, he did?
No,
Oh, did he?
He did.
He did. He had to go.
When we were talking, they were trying between the two radios to see what was faster back in the day.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting because we got, and this is what you guys did such a good job of last year. There's so much design that went into the cars that raced at the Worlds. And then for those that don't know, when you look at Masami's, this was the 870C Yokomo, but he had it so heavily modified. So the front wishbones are actually the rear wishbones.
Yeah.
And he custom cut some nylon longer rear wishbones. So this actually has the width and length of the 91 that came out like 2 years later, when it should have been much narrower with dished wheels. And then the 89 was with the big controversial 2.2 wheels. So obviously you ran those. And I think we've got a similar thing going on with the other builds. So I know that Nathan from Chargers is building a laser, and that is again has got a bunch of really trick parts on it. We've got Darren is building Cliff Lett's car. We've got Nathan March building Rick Howards. Am I saying his name right? His Laser ZX.
Yep.
Lou, you're building Butch Klober. Is
Yeah,
that
I'll
right?
handball that over to Ash Coble. So Ash
Ash has picked that one up. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. Defina's up for Halsey's, it's a YZ10 with a monoshock front end.
That's right.
And no pressure, Defina, but we're really trying to get Jay to come. I've been texting him personally trying to convince him to come out,
Well, that'll be all right.
which would be amazing, wouldn't it? Because I
Yep.
think everyone's
Yeah.
trying. We've got Jeff Primer on Jurgen's ProCat. We've got Steve Olsen doing Phil Davis's ProCat. And we got Rory running his original ProCat. How cool is that going to be?
Yeah, that's the car that ran in the event is coming out. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. And then, not to and I know, Cookie, you had to run against him last year, but we got Hara running Satoshi's Yokomo. And then lastly, Jason Bormack is going to be doing Mike Dunn's Pro Radiant, which is a super rare car, so it's going to be great to see that one going around.
And guess who's driving that?
For you?
And guess what I've got for when I drive it? I'm just going to show you this.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, the shorts.
The shorts.
Oh.
I missed it. What happened?
No comment.
So we're doing extra points because thanks to Steve James, I've got my Yokomo team jacket. I think we're all trying to really put on. You see that there? I managed to blag one of these bright yellow Team Yokomo jackets, so
Yeah, cool.
it fits, but it'll be good enough. So I'll be wearing that at the event. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be really cool.
Very nice. Well, apologies for at the start where either for good or for bad I couldn't hear me. So now I've got the right audio settings done. I just want to welcome everybody again to a Vintage Bash 5 season. and we've obviously had 4 vintage bashes now, and hopefully had lots of learnings and good fun times. So we're going to chat about all the things that we want to carry on, transfer to the next one. And I'll just take a moment to say hello to everybody. We've got a bunch of people online. Who we got? Yeah, Boardmakers we said hello to earlier.
Jason's in the house.
Yep. We've got Stuart Tierney, so thanks for the information about the audio. I'm still hearing myself twice, so if I seem a bit strange, just ignore me. It's very bizarre, but hopefully the stream's okay. Tell me if it's not. Who else have we got? Yep, we'll make Gavin. Hello.
No Cookie.
Yeah, that was earlier. Yeah.
It's just popped
And
up
now-
now. Oh, good. And now Cookie special.
He speaks. Yay.
Cool.
Awesome.
And I've got the comments working this time. Had trouble with that
Hey.
last stream. So we'll see if that lasts the whole time.
What's the plural of bashes? Beatings?
The Sheeses.
We've had 4 vintage beatings, not bashes.
Yeah, we've been fully bashed. Yeah, so tonight we are going to chat a bit about the whole vintage bash concept and vibe and the goals that we all want to try and achieve out of this type of event. And we're going to talk a bit about all of the sort of feedback and comments and information that we've received quite a few months since the last event, I guess, as well as recently. Thanks for all of the comments on the Facebook during the week. So we collated all of those and had a look at what the common themes were. So we'll look to be addressing those where we can. It was pretty interesting actually, because for every comment saying somebody likes something, somebody else doesn't like it, and vice versa. So that's always good fun, which is cool because everyone's got their own sort of perspectives and ideas on things. Otherwise, we'd all be the same, and it would be very boring.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll look at that. A bit of the whole vintage scene, maybe worldwide, as well as what we're doing here. We'll talk a bit about motors, like silver can type motors. We'll talk about race format. We'll have a look at, have a discussion about the classes, which might be short, might not be. So in terms of what we're planning there compared to last year. We'll probably get stuck back into that 4-drive revival a bit later on in the evening that James was just telling us about. And also with James, so welcome, because I think I wasn't being heard earlier. And James is also a sponsor of Vintage Bash 5 this year. So come on board to support the event, which is awesome. As Night Customs, of course. There we go. Yep. We'll probably also chat a little bit about some of the other sponsors that have come on board already for this year. So that's the agenda for this evening. We'll probably won't stick to it, but we'll see how we go as always. Lou, did you want to tell us a bit about what Vintage Bash means again for us all?
What Vintage Bash? So we're up to our fifth running of the Vintage Bash 2026. Once again, it's almost like we need to just remind everybody of what it is that we do and why we do it in the way that we do it. For us, it's always been about the nostalgia, the making of a time machine to take us back to, for some of us, the cars that we used to race back in the day. For some of us, some of the cars that we had as kids, and for some of us, some of the cars that we never could afford as kids that now have been re-released and we get to run them again. What we do is quite different to what the rest of the world seems to be doing at the moment. The rest of the world seems to be really doing they've just added another class to their normal racing routine. So, like if we were to run it here at a club day, it'd be two-wheel drive modified, two-wheel drive stock, four-wheel drive modified, four-wheel drive stock, and vintage racing. Now, their version of vintage racing, in our opinion, probably isn't really vintage. It isn't what we envisage doing. And our whole goal from the start was to get either people that haven't been to the track for a long period of time, or people who may have one of their old race cars sitting on a shelf somewhere, get them back out onto the track. And the way that we went about it was to try to simplify whatever was the easiest way to get those cars on the track. So one of the reasons we chose the 17.5 motor and the 21.5 motor is because they're generally the two biggest classes. So if you were to go to on-road, 21.5 is generally one of the biggest classes. If you go to off-road, 17.5, so the stock two-wheel drive is the biggest class. So the majority of people will have new motor. So they'll get rid of their old motor. That allows you to get hold of a second-hand motor quite cheap, and we're not actually chasing massive performance. We just want something that we can bolt into the cars to drive them. We quickly found that the 17.5 and the 21.5 brushless is probably overpowered any of the earlier cars, so we thought we're just going to go for a silver can. Now, in a perfect world, we would have all been running a Mabuchi silver can or something like that, but quite often you can't get them, so let's open it up to run a sport tune or a torque tune. It's really just about being able to put a car on the track and go around. Now, of course, with everything, it gets taken out of context. Guys will start testing their motors because they want to go fast, and they'll pick one that they've had put aside that's got more power than the other one because there's no trophies at the end of the day. No one cares if you're the fastest car down the straight. No one cares that you did a lap time that's half a second faster than someone else. What they do care is if you've showed up with a car that's representative of something that got race in the day. And that's what we want to see on the track. So getting back to the differences between our event and what they're doing overseas, our event is trying to get as many of the old weird race cars that you haven't seen on the track for a long period of time. If we allow all this current crop of stuff that's coming out, I think it's just going to mean that people won't be bringing out the old stuff. They'll just gravitate towards the new stuff, because I'll tell you, I'm a mad Team Lucy guy, but if we were to open the classes to run, some of the cars that have been released overseas at the moment, I wouldn't even bother putting any of my Lucy cars out, because the new cars have got all the modern turnbuckles and the modern ball ends and the big shocks and the latest slipper on them, and there's no incentive for me to run the old car against that. So for that very reason is why we are sticking to our guns, and this is what we want to keep doing. Defina, your thoughts?
I agree. We're trying to, like you said, we're trying not to add another racing class to the racing. We're trying to have it so that you bring out the older cars and the historic cars and bring back that side of it, rather than, like you said, just having another class where you have two-wheel mod, two-wheel stock, four-wheel mod, four-wheel stock, and then vintage. There's a place for those, but I don't think that's our place, if you know what I mean. I like the way that we've got it, where people are bringing out, cars that they raced back in the day, cars that they, that they're happy to put on the track and go around with a 540 in it and enjoy having their, reliving their childhood, rather than going back out there and trying to fire up a vintage car to cope with a modern motor and modern tyres and modern speeds.
Yep.
So I think it's just that's just what we want to do, and that's our boat that's getting floated.
Yeah, definitely, and that's a good point, because we've all got different cars. The world's got all different types of cars, which can be raced at pretty much any club day, any state titles, any national titles, if so desired. As in, you can race a near vintage, half modern, half vintage car at any racetrack, any weekend of the year, which I have done at many other events, and
Quite
lots of us have
successfully
done.
too, Mr. Cookie.
Yeah, well, it was okay, but it wasn't about beating other people. It was just the enjoyment, having fun, doing it because I felt like it, and I did. If people want to modify their vintage cars and go out and make it half modern and beat a fully vintage car, that's not what the whole concept's about, of course. So that really defeats the purpose. And to those points, it's the vintage bash. It's not the neo vintage bash. It's not the half modern, half vintage bash.
So what was that? We spoke earlier, Andy, and you came up with a nice prerogative.
Was it the three laws?
The 3 laws of the vintage bash.
Yes. So 3 laws. I mean, they're not set in stone, but kind of the way we go about assessing things. So number 1 is it an actual vintage car? Of course. Then it's good for this event. Number 2 was, is it a replica of a vintage car? So, the 89, well, from my perspective, the 89 and 91 Masami cars are good examples. But any replica that somebody's done, like James's Yokomo then, it's a replica of a car that was raced back in 89 in that case. And then the 3rd law is very similar, but a re-release of a vintage car. And lots of companies have been doing all their re-releases. So, Schumacher and Tamiya and Associated have done some vintage re-releases. And Yokomo, of course, have done lots of cool ones. And Kyosho, who have I missed?
Schumacher?
Yep, Schumacher.
You said that first?
Yep. So all those, awesome. They all fit into those, 3 laws. But the things that, some of the examples that Associated have been doing are not replicas, they're not re-releases. It's just something different that they've made up in 2026. So, for us, for the vibe of what we want to do, which is vintage nostalgia, remembering those times, getting cars out on the track that are looking like the ones we used to race, is what it's all about. And those others sort of fall outside of that remit. Bring those to your club days, run it in a vintage class in club day, run it in a non-vintage class. But it's not really the vibe that we're going for. So that's the 3 laws. Not fully hard and fast, but that's really what we want to achieve.
Yep, that's a mission statement, I guess, from the Vintage Bash guys. That's the question was asked whether or not we would include a retro mod class, and I guess that pretty much answers it. Not vintage, not for this event. Next topic, Andy.
Next topic. So, observations of vintage worldwide. So we sort of covered that. I guess motors is the next topic. Silver cans.
I'll go to the technical expertise, Aaron Defina. As we said earlier, in a perfect world, we'd all have the same silver can. We're not actually racing. We are, but we're not. Some guys make a race out of it. We've got some plans which we'll share with you a bit later on. We've got some ideas because obviously there's more than one type of competitor that comes to these events. Entrant, I should say, not so much a competitor. You got the guys that are ex-racers like myself, who just enjoy the bringing out the old cars and the vibe and working on them and bring all the memories and the smack talk in the pits and all that sort of stuff, which is pretty cool. You've also got the guys who are collectors who like to come along and see some of the cars that they haven't seen before. Before these events, when was the last time you would have seen a super shot going around the track? Probably 20, 30 years ago. Now, once a year, you get to see them race in a era-based class against other hot shots and other super shots and boomerangs and big wigs, and you get to see frogs on the track again, racing tomahawks, and do you know what I mean? This is all stuff that we've allowed to happen by the way that we've sort of structured the classes, and we're stoked that it is happening. The whole idea of going to the silver can was for the earlier classes. There were the classes that generally have the more fragile gearboxes. If you have trouble getting a car around the track with a silver can, well, you probably need to practice some more. But you can have a really good fun driving silver can cars. Now, some people last year and the year before were struggling to get their hands on a silver can, so we opened it up to the Sport Tune and Torque Tune. We don't really want to change that. Keep it as it is. Back in the day, when you were racing these cars, some guys had the Sports Tune, some guys had the Torque Tuned, some guys had, they'd go through 50 Johnson motors to find one that was a little bit better. So you have got a little bit of a difference in speed. No, not me.
I mean, that guy.
Well, that guy, yeah. Ask him about the Fanta. So you will have some difference in speed between the cars, but our whole idea was to try to keep the cars generally around the same speed, so you haven't got, one going down the straight like a turtle and the other one come flying along and there's a crash and everything gets broken. So we do encourage people to bring out those cars, and this is one of the reasons why we keep trying to invent a different way of portraying this event to everybody, so everyone understands that we want to see these old cars back on the track again. And if we lose sight of the reason why we're all getting together, and it's a mobile display, and we start really racing each other, those cars you'll never see again. They'll just go back on the shelf, and you'll never get to see. Like that last year was that Kangaroo, and we had the Tag going around, and a couple of years ago I had the Progress going. There's a AYK Bobcat going. Like, it's just, these are things that you don't get to see at other events, and I think we're fairly privileged to be able to stand by the side of the track and see these cars getting around. So when you are reaching into your toolbox and you've entered that early class, and just remember why and what it is, the reason why you're putting the car on the track. There'll be a time to race, but that'll come a little bit later on tonight. We'll tell you all about it.
Look, and if I can add, because I've been fortunate enough to be to all of the Bash events and race with you guys at other vintage events. People say, well, you don't like big balls, but you do brushless. But I would say that outside of the silver can, even when we do brushless, it's only 21.5 or 17.5, which is sort of speed appropriate for that period of time. And I think that's what, for me personally, it really fits the era, and not just because I'm older and that's probably only as fast as I can go. I think if you gave me a 10.5 now, I'd just be crashing the car, which is the other part of what you talked about, is the speed's appropriate for the cars we're putting on the track, so it doesn't just make for entertaining racing, but it also maintains the vehicles. And I remember when your Progress was going around, it was the right speed for that car, and it was fun to watch. I'm sure it's fun to drive too, and that's back to your point about the spirit of the event. Big bores and 10-turn brushless is going to be faster, but that's not what we're doing here. We're not. That's not what it's about.
100%. That's exactly it. It's just, and we did some testing very early on. We tried the two-wheel drive, the later model two-wheel drives at 17.5, and look, it's drivable. You can get them around. It's not a problem. But for somebody that doesn't race very often, and you put a 17.5 in a two-wheel drive and say, here, go and drive it, you'll struggle because they'll want to pop monos and they'll want to go sideways. And, do you know what I mean? Even with a 21.5, they're fairly full on. And I can tell you that Bash 1 for the final, I think we had one A final in Bash 1, and I ran my XXCR, and I had an 11 triple. I put an 11 triple brush motor in, and I had no more straight line speed than anyone I had no more straight on speed than anyone, and the rest of the field was running 21.5. So that's how far it's sort of come. So do we really want to go any faster? I don't think so. Hara last year was running around with his 21.5 in the Cookies 91 Detroit car. If anything, he reckons it was probably too fast. So I think we've got that formula quite right. You could argue that maybe the 17.5 is a little bit too fast, but the 21 in the truck is too slow, and the 21 in the four-wheel drive is also too slow.
Yeah,
so I think we're sort of pretty close to being spot on.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I had as much fun driving my 6-gear RC10 short arm with a silver can as I did my world's RC10 with a 21.5 like maxed out, which is a super quick car, relatively speaking. It was just as much fun. Actually, more fun, to be honest with you. It's my go-to for the bash. Is the silver can RC10. I love it. Just love it.
One of the best drives that I had was last year was with my Tomahawk with a Mabuchi.
Of course.
With a Mabuchi. So
because those cars you just end up overpowering them, and then you're chasing.
They're quirky and for good reason.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
So we're definitely sticking with those motors. So Silver Can, Johnson, Torx Tunes, Sports Tunes for the early, was it pre-87 class?
Yep.
Which is good because then if people already have one in their car, they don't have to go out and buy another motor just for this one-off event that they might run in for the year.
There was a comment put up where there was a suggestion to run the Kyosho G27 motor like the guys in New Zealand do. It's great, but they're not readily available in Australia for starters.
No.
And it's just way easier to just get your hands on at this stage anyway, for what we're doing, way easier to get your hand on a Silver Can. Now, in a perfect world, as we discussed earlier with Andy, you just go, okay, this is the motor that you need to go, and everyone runs exactly the same motor. And now that, you guys have seen the Reedy's jumped on board with some of those rebuildable style Sparks, that sort of thing. It is very, very similar to what we ran in the 89 cars last year. I think it's a faster. But they can be had for absolute peanuts. So, perhaps in the future, if we decide to try to do some type of sanctioned event, we'll all have like a handout style, single wind motor. But for now, it's just way easier. Silver Can, put in whatever you want to put Silver Can in, provided it's in the spirit of what we're doing, and we'll just go from there.
Yep. Magnificent.
If you start to go silly and start to get big old 14-turn motors in there and the drill motors and all that sort of stuff, well, the rabbit will come out and just have to have a chat to you, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point though, because I have seen on Facebook, you got some of the old guys coming out, and they might have a 10 double from when they used to race back in the day.
Yep.
And I think you guys are pretty open to look, just bring whatever you've got, because it's not about the winning. And if you're the guy lapping people because you're running a 10 double, then you're probably missing the point of the whole event in the first place. Yeah. But it's not like you guys are running, what do you call that, scrutineering.
No.
But be in the spirit of the event, you'll have more fun.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Yeah.
We've got a little suggestion here from Bormac for you, Aaron.
Aren't those things like crazy? Aren't they crazy fragile?
Yeah, but they're crazy cool too.
Yeah.
And Bormac's right. I'm quietly building it up and just collecting all the parts to make it work and having to machine bits and pieces and all that sort of stuff. It's all right. He knows the plan.
Yep. And what have we got here from Damien? Welcome, Damien. Sports tuned dirt. Tune 23-turn motors, okay, in the 87 to 89 class.
Those to me are rebuildable sort of motors, aren't they? If that's the one I'm thinking of, they're like one of the 27-turn stocks that we used to have back in the day, but they're a rebuildable Tamiya one.
Yeah, you have to be careful because Tamiya actually got some pretty hairy motors that have come out as a super stock things.
And they've re-released a whole lot of them too. So
but the ones that they've re-released are literally like that Reedy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, I've seen a couple, and there's some motors around, and if you've got it, bring it down. But if you can get just a standard 540, which you'll get in any, like you get an
Yeah.
old Tamiya kit or a modern Tamiya kit, and you'll probably find a whole lot of people who've
Yeah.
got them and don't want the motors. Just get one of those motors and put it in the car. Like,
Yeah. I think that Tamiya Sports Tune is a 23
23 turns.
Three
I
turn.
think it is.
that'll
and it's
not really
it's a bit
be what
wild,
we're after, no.
Yeah, no. So if you're struggling to get a motor, don't be afraid of reaching out, because there's some of us who've got a whole lot of Tamiya kits with a whole lot of brand new Tamiya motors still sitting around. So if someone needs one, we can actually scratch one together for you. So don't feel that it's all going to be impossible either, because they're around. The motors are around.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I've always been really impressed, even when we did the vintage on road, where I turned up without a motor because I thought it'd be a handout motor, and the guy next to me just gave me a motor, and he had the solder, and he soldered it in for me, and that was
Such a nice guy.
such a nice dude.
Yeah.
And then I got a little solar speed, thank you, Lou, to just make sure I was on the pace. Not that it helped, but it did help. But I also think to other people coming out, that there's such a big community, and we're all bringing more cars than we're running. And I know that the spirit's always been so good in terms of everyone helping everyone. So, if in doubt, just turn up.
Just reach out.
We'll figure it out.
We'll work something
definitely.
out for you. There's just a whole lot of stuff floating around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the main point we're trying to make for everyone is that just remember that outright performance is a distant second to how cool the car looks when it's on the track.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's the killer. It's,
Yep.
if you've got a car that's putting 5 laps on everybody else in a heat,
Yeah. It's not.
yeah.
You'll get your chance at VB Bash.
Yeah.
You get your chance at VB5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of topics, there's race format stuff, so it's probably a good segue. Mr.
Subtle
Lou, where do you
segue.
want to start on that? So, race format, what's the thinking at this point?
Okay, so every year we've tried a different type of format to try to appease everyone. So everybody wants to race against everyone else. You don't want to spend 3 days qualifying. We're trying to give you as much track time as possible. Now, the hurdle that we came across last year was that we put everybody into race heats, and we generated them randomly. So it really didn't matter. There wasn't so much qualifying. There was no qualifying. Literally every race was a final. What that brought out was that some guys don't put the preparation in, or haven't got the skill set or they don't feel like they've got the skill set to go out and race straight up. They want to try to come up with, they like to race people that are about the same speed as what they are. So that was something that we didn't think was going to be so much of a problem, but in hindsight, after reading the comments and just revisiting the whole event, we thought that it needs some attention. So Cookie and I had a long chat today. I think I had to put my phone on charge 3 times. And we've sort of come up with a bit of a plan that we're going to put to you guys, and we'll probably put it into words and put it up on the Vintage Bash page, so you guys can see it, and then we'll probably do a poll, and you guys sort of decide what you want to do. So what we are thinking of doing is two or threefold. It's going to be. So instead of having qualifying events, you're going to have, what do we call them, Cookie?
Grading.
Grading heats. So what we're going to try to do is we'll do a heat where we'll actually look at 2 of your fastest lap times, and you'll be graded off those lap times. So before you enter, we're going to ask you if you think you're A class, B class, or a C class driver. We'll then do some grading heats, so we'll grade you as you're going around. And that will then qualify you to go into races with guys that are of the same speed as what you are. On top of that, we may also do some feature races where, at our discretion, we'll pick out 10 guys who come across like the guys that want to go racing. And then what we'll do is we'll do a specific one-off race. So this is all in class, mind you. So we'll do a specific one-off race where you'll have to qualify by doing 2 fast consecutive laps. And then you'll go into a 5-minute final. So as well as your normal racing, you may be asked to join in a feature event where you'll show us how fast you actually are. So we may or may not put a little checkbox on the entry to see if you want to be part of that. Or you may just get the, hey, make sure you got a charged battery because you're going to be racing next. So that's something like a little twist on what we normally do. So that's our plan.
Yeah. And with that, Lou, we definitely want to try and cater to those guys because it's not just one person or two. There's a good handful, big handfuls that would like to show how awesomely fast they were and are. And yeah, so we don't want to ignore that. And this is one of the ideas that we're planning for giving those guys the chance to show off, be a hero. We'll all be around the track watching.
Yeah, so the idea behind that also, of course, is to, as we've said before, really what we're trying to do is we want everyone to put on a display, as in bring your cool stuff out, get it on the track, circulate, right? Now, if that means that you need to just slow down a little bit more while you're doing your normal heats and stuff, well, that's cool. But if there's still an inkling that you want to go out and show us all how fast you are, then put your hand up or tick the box, and then we'll put you into one of these feature races. So then the pressure's going to be on you. Yeah, exactly, Sean. The older I get, the faster I was.
Yeah. I think that goes for all of us, right?
So, that's just something that we've come up with to try to appease and to include everybody. I think it'd be a cool thing. I did see some comments where guys really enjoyed seeing the finals last time, after we all qualified and the top guys went into the A final and to see that. So you'll get your chance to do this again, but it will be even better because we'll have like a Bathurst top 10 shootout before we actually go into the race. So that'd be super cool.
Yeah. And that was quite a bit of feedback around the Reedy race style that Lou alluded to earlier that we tried last year.
Yeah.
And it wasn't super awesome like we were envisaging. Some races worked, some didn't. And the crux of that was that we've all got different skill levels and speeds and different cars also within the classes. So a lot of the guys that were super fast, maybe they get a bit frustrated with, going around the slower cars. But more importantly, the guys that are slower and they're not wanting to have to move over every other lap or every other corner to let people through because that's no fun for them to race that way. So all that feedback's obviously been taken on board. And this is the sort of the new idea, I guess you could say, or the way we're thinking about addressing it and seeing how we can improve it for this year.
Yeah, it's just trying to make it so it's fun for everybody. Really.
Yeah, so that'll give us the grading. So as Lou said, we've got the grading on the entry form. So sort of self-classify yourself as like maybe 3 tiers, or if wrong one, or if Gavin gets his way, maybe 4 tiers with a D class. But the idea is just, do you know that you're super fast and you want to be in the top heats to start with? Do you know if you're sort of in the middle, you're not a beginner, not a once-a-year racer, but you know that you're not going to compete at the sort of top speed level, then like a B grade, and then everyone else who just wants to go at their speed and not get in people's way and not have to move over is like a C grade sort of concept. So it's not like A final, B final, C final. It's more just a 3-level grading. that'll help us obviously put you into a group to start with for the weekend with like speed type races. And then after that is the grading sort of heats. So think of it as seeding or qualifying. We might call it grading. That was our term we came up with today. But it's really a 4 or 5 minute run, maybe 4 minutes. And it's not the whole 4 minutes that counts. It'll be maybe two best laps. And with that should give a good grading to everybody of how fast we all are. So the quick guys are going to get a couple of quick laps. Everyone's going to get pretty much the 2 best laps that they can do. And we're thinking that will give a good sort of qualifying order for going into the finals. And with the finals, Lou, what do you reckon? We could have. It depends on the sort of entries and classes and time. Maybe 3 finals, maybe more minutes.
The plans are try to do it so that we can get as much track time as we all can. So if we can fit more finals, if we can do 3 finals or a longer final or whatever it means, that's the plan.
Yeah.
Less qualifying, more racing.
Yeah, which is what we're thinking with the ready style, but obviously that had its other drawbacks or aspects in that case.
So getting back to the, instead of doing qualifying rounds where it gives you I was this fast for this round or whatever it is, as you're circulating, we'll actually be able to tell how fast you actually are. So if you can bang out 2 fast laps, that obviously tells us that you're good enough to go in whatever heat, right? Yeah. Now, if you decide that you want to cut the track to go fast, well, you're going to get found out when you go into the final. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, especially the guys that know that their speed is at the slower end. They're obviously not going to want to try and cheat or do dodgy stuff to get into a higher grade, because that's the opposite of what those guys want.
Yeah, and I guess at the end of the day, it can be our discretion of how we grade it. So, are we going to go off a single lap? Are we going to go off 2 laps? Are we going to go off consecutive laps?
Yeah. Yes, that's all questions to be determined.
Yeah. The best 3 laps is usually what they do, yes?
Yeah, for modern racing, it's
racing,
the case. And it's usually consecutive from sort of modern style seating.
Consecutive.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is tough, especially in off-road. So I'm thinking, maybe we make it a bit easier. If you can do 3 quick laps or 2 quick laps, if you're a good driver and you're really quick, you might have a couple little bubbles or have a crash, have a tangle during your grading, and you might not get the 3 consecutive.
Yeah.
So, we'll think about that. Obviously, any other comments and feedbacks that you guys have would be good for us to consume and see what everybody wants.
Yeah, but as we said earlier, just for anyone that felt left out last year or had concerns about what we're trying to do, hopefully this sort of clarifies a little bit more that we have taken on board what you guys said, and we're trying to find a way to even if it's a little quirky and it's different to what we normally do, it'll benefit us all in the long run, and it'll be pretty cool.
Yep, and the feature races, or did you want to recap a little bit again?
Yeah, so feature races again. So some of the guys that will go to this event, they've spent time setting up their cars and they've got good gear and they've glued their tyres properly and they've sat there making sure they've got the right shock oil in their shocks and trying to get every the cars going as fast as they possibly can, and that's cool. So what we want to do is the guys that think they want to have a bit of a race, we'll give you either a checkbox on the entry form or we'll identify you ourselves and put you into a feature race. So, let's assume that you've entered the, I'm going to say the 91 to 93 two-wheel drive class. We may take the 10 fastest guys in that class and we may call it let's say the J Concepts Challenge. So you'll have a 5-minute race which the 10 of you will go into that 5-minute race, but to qualify for your grid position, you'll have to do 2 fast laps. So you'll have an out lap, and it'll be the average of your 2 fast laps. That'll give you a qualifying position. You then go on the grid, drivers watch your cars, and show us how good you go.
Yep.
So a twist on the normal qualifying is a little bit more like the old Bormac Racer Champions, yeah. Yeah, so one car doing a hot lap at a time. So
Bormac likes that.
Yeah. Look, you wait to see how.
An earlier comment.
I can't wait to see all these the super drivers do 2 fast laps while everyone's watching them. It's going to be awesome.
Yep. Cool. The actual race length. I just saw a comment from Stuart.
Yep.
So how many minutes is each race is a good question. We definitely haven't decided on that.
No.
Is Stuart going to run his 1200s?
That's why he wants shorter races.
That's why he wants shorter races. How come the 1200 back?
Yeah. So we had earlier in the year we had the over Easter actually. We did the on-road version of the Vintage Bash, and we ran 4-minute heats. Now, it sounds like we've taken all this time, and it's a minute less you're on the track. I've got to tell you, it was actually easier to run for 4 minutes than what it was for 5. It's like almost a complete no-brainer, and you can walk off the driver's stand and it doesn't feel like you've lost any time at all.
Yeah, it still felt like a whole race.
It still felt like a full race, yeah.
It wasn't like, halfway through we've stopped already.
Yeah. And
especially with the older cars, that kind of makes sense from that perspective as well.
Yeah, and the shorter heats just means we can race more.
Yeah, might get another whole race.
A whole round,
Whole round. Yep, you're right, Daff.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a bit scary.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe you need to get rid of them, Stu.
Yeah, that's might be an issue.
Yeah, so that's something we're discussing at the moment. Shorter heats, because at the end of the day, again, we're grading heats. We're not qualifying heats. So you don't need to show us how consistent you are over 5 minutes. You just need to show us how fast you are over 2 laps.
Yep.
Some of those people might take 5 minutes to do 2 laps.
Yeah.
That'll be your fastest 2 laps.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And with that, if we're not sure of the exact format, but just say we have 2 rounds of grading, it could be your best 2 or 3 or however many laps combined across both heats as well. So might do that sort of accumulated style.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll come up with some way that's pretty cool, something different.
Yeah. And definitely, if you've got feedback ongoing, like comment on our Facebooks and that sort of stuff, or email us if you prefer. But any of that sort of stuff we'll try and take on board and combine it into how we decide.
If you're watching this video, or you're part of the group, or you're going to come out, or you're thinking about coming out, or you've been before, don't just sit on your hands and don't say, the more feedback we get from you guys, the more we can take this stuff on board and make changes to suit everyone. The more the merrier. And, I say every year, it's not our event, it's everybody's event. So we just help facilitate it.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point to make. I've heard that not often, once, maybe twice, that people saying, your event, but we're helping to organise and run it, this group and some others that are giving a lot of their time as well to help us. But the event is for everybody. Not like a thing that we're doing for our own benefits. It's for all of our benefits. Cool, so that's pretty much the race format type topics I think we've covered. Just last bit on that, maybe the entries. We haven't got an exact opening date yet for entries, but we're thinking late July at this point. So just setting expectations for that.
And don't panic because our entry process is going to be different to what it's been in the past.
Yep. I
Brown
had some
paper
brilliant
bags
ideas in
full
the
of cash.
past that have totally not worked, or have made it stressful and stuff. Sorry, Daff, what was that?
I said brown paper bags full of cash.
Mm.
That's the new entryway.
I just said brown paper bag.
And full of cash.
So yeah, we've got a revised approach. Try and do it in 2 waves. The first time entries open will be a little bit more limited to how many different classes you can enter. Might be like 1 per day. So we want to make sure that everybody that wants to join the event gets to. And then we'll look at all of those heats and entries. Sorry, all those entries, work out what the heats look like, the timing of the weekend or the days, and then how many more heats we can fit in. And then we'll open up for like a second wave of entries after that. Do you want to add anything there, Lou? Anybody?
No, the only other thing I'll bring up is that even if you can't enter multiple classes, just remember that you can run multiple classes in the same class. So, if you've got a 6-gear RC10, a Frog, and you've got a Tomahawk, they're all going to fit inside the same class, and there's nothing stopping you from driving different cars of the same era in the same race, in the same heat. So, I've done it in the past where I ran the Traxxas TRX1 in one heat. I ran a JRX2 in the second heat and a JRX Pro in the other one. So that's keep that in mind.
Yeah, and truck entries as well is the last thing.
Yeah. I did say something about truck. So if you guys that entered truck last year never got a run, we know who you are. So we did say we're going to look after you, and we still haven't completely decided what we're going to do, but expect something.
Can I just add, I think for those that have been to these events before, they probably understand that when you try and enter 3 classes in any one day, it's sometimes too much.
Yeah.
And anyone who's done it, because a lot of people travel a long way, they're like, I want to get most of my money, I'm going to get as many classes as I can, but you actually miss out on a lot, and you end up stressed out, you're not marshalling, you're not really enjoying it, and you're running around and around and around. I actually only won being one of those 3 classes a day guys. I've now gone to 1 class a day, not just because it leaves spots open for everyone else, but it's just so much easier. And to Lou's point, you switch the cars up. I can run 3 cars in a day, but just in the same class, and it lets more people come into the event. It lets you have more fun. You can have more time chatting in the pits. When inevitably you break, you're not as stressed because you're supposed to be back out doing something. So just for those that have never done it before, I understand if you're coming from a long way, don't feel like you need to maximize the classes. 1 actually is enough if you do it right. And if you can get 2, great, but 1 is enough each day.
Yeah, spot on. And of course, a lot of people like to walk around and chat and look at everybody else's displays and cars. So there's that aspect. Maybe not everybody wants to do that, but that is a big draw card from this type of event. And a lot of us like to have time to do that. So yeah, running too many classes precludes a bit from that option. I always run 1 class, or have run 1 class at this event, and pretty much any event I do these days. 2 is just too much for me. But on the other end, everybody's got different approaches. Some people love to run heaps of cars. But for this, we'll try and make sure everybody gets a go, and then that second wave of entries would open up for the subsequent classes, and then everybody can try and grab those as well. Yeah.
The other thing that we've been discussing is in every other year, every other event we've done so far has been we've done truck on one day, 2-wheel drive on the next day, 4-wheel drive on the other day, and a lot of other events that get run, they actually run the 3 different classes in the same day. So rather than say, I'll give you an example. So last year, had we run truck, it would have been race 1 to 7, and then you go back to race 1 again. If we ran the two-wheel drive, I think there was 13 heats, it would have been race 1 to 13, then back to race 1 again. So potentially, if we were to include truck, two-wheel drive, and four-wheel drive as all in the one day, you could potentially say, let's say I'll work on the same numbers that we did last year, right? So you'd have 7 races of truck, then you'd have 13 races of two-wheel drive, then you'd have 13 races of four-wheel drive, and that'd constitute one round. So you might start, let's say, at 8 o'clock in the morning, and you would finish round 1 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that, and then you'd go into round 2 of truck and so on and so forth. So you potentially get to run, if you entered 3 classes, you'd run your 3 classes but in the one day. Having said that, and talking about what James just said about you get run off your feet, generally a turnaround of one race is about 7 minutes. So let's assume you were in race 7 for the truck, which would have been the last heat, and then you were in race 13 for the two-wheel drive race. You'd essentially have an hour and a half from your truck race to your two-wheel drive race. And then you would have another hour and a half from your two-wheel drive race to your four-wheel drive race. So that still gives you time to do whatever you wanted to do to the car, go and have a chat, go and get something to eat, mingle. Do you know what I mean? So you still wouldn't be rushed off your feet as such, because you've got an hour and a half between one run to the next. So that's something that we may put to a poll, and you guys can tell us which way you want to go. I know the associated event at Vegas runs that way. So yeah, that's everything's possible. You know, Sean Leggett, this is a good one.
Yeah, so then we've got the other side of the equation, of course. Like for an example, what Sean was mentioning is that some people will be travelling a long way, putting a lot of time and effort and expense into coming to the event. Yes, so we want to sort of address that type of a scenario where people do want to, get the value for all of their effort, which is maybe, at least 2 classes per day.
Yeah. So I'll just share this, Cookie. I thought
Yeah, no, I'd say while you're doing that, Lou, two's probably is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
3's definitely too much, and my preference is 1. But to Sean's point, 2 is probably a sweet spot if you're trying to absolutely maximise your time.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so we're trying to find that sort of balance, like what Sean and Hayden are saying.
Yeah.
Luke.
Yeah. So this is the Associated Vintage Championships. So if you go off the numbers that they had last year, very similar numbers to what we had at the Vintage Bash. But forgetting Wednesday, obviously they started off on Wednesday. Thursday they kick off at 7:30, and they just keep going until it's finished. So you end up with 2 4-minute practice rounds. That's what you do the whole of Thursday. The whole of Friday you have 2 qualifying rounds. Saturday from 7:30 till 4 is basically 1 qualifying round, and then they're going to the mains. And 3 hours for the mains, and they finish the banquet at 7 p.m. But essentially, it's 12-hour days every day. So pretty full.
4 days.
It's a pretty full.
4 days straight.
Over 4 day, yeah. Yeah. So here you go. This is the way that the guys are doing it in
5 days.
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
Wow.
Practice 4 minutes. Fastest 3 consecutive laps for seeding. Qualifying 3 rounds, 4 minutes. Best 2 out of 3 qualifying scores count. Main events, 6-minute mains. And tiebreaker goes to the finish of the A2. So a little bit more race-oriented type format.
That's pretty much the IFMA World Champ. That's more hectic than IFMA World Championships.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So some long days there.
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing that they're doing. which is cool.
And
but it's
that's the
definitely
way that
different
they're
to what
getting
we
around
do.
it. Yeah, but they haven't done a two-wheel drive day, a four-wheel drive day, a truck day. So essentially, if you enter truck, you get a run, whether it gets rained or it doesn't get rained. Do you know what I mean? You still get a chance to.
And their event was indoors, of course.
Yes. Yeah, this is a 2026 one.
Oh, that's the 26. Yep.
Yeah.
Is that indoors
Yes.
as well? Yep, same thing.
Yep.
What's Damien saying?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good point, because we're thinking of how to do the classes and which days, which we just noted a bit with. Do we just do all of the classes on every day?
Yep.
Or do we do what we have been doing for all of the other bashes, or at least the last 3, which is, as Damien's mentioned, truck, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive for the 3 days?
Yeah. Yeah, but see, if you do, and this is what the point that I'm trying to make, if you do 2 classes of four-wheel drive, and let's say you're on race 10 and race 13, well, from race 13 to the next race 10, you got 10 races, right? And then you got 13 again. So you're potentially just on the go every time. What you got to remember is now, if you do those 2 four-wheel drive on the other day, on the way that we're doing it, you may have 18 or 19 races between your four-wheel drive one till you're out again. So there's a longer gap. There's potentially a longer gap.
So is that bad because it's a long gap, or good because you got more time to?
Well, you
chat
got
and
more.
eat
You
and
got
look
more
around?
time. That's the whole idea. You got more time to look around and do whatever you want to do, other than be on the track.
Yeah.
So that's a potential of that. So I mean, there's fors and against with everything that we sort of put out there, but it's I guess we'll leave it to the masses.
Yeah, because we know a lot of people might want to wrench the whole time and have
Yeah.
as much track time as possible. Others want to do the opposite, which is charge a pack and then go chat with your mates
Yeah.
and tell them how fast you used to be.
Yeah.
And 6-minute finals. It's a good point, because we're thinking, like, should the finals be 5, 6, 7 minutes, or a longer race? Have 3 finals, sort of thing.
I'm
That'll be
just
another decision that we need to do.
Yeah, one of the things that I took away last year too was the Chonmage rules, where they do the racing, but they race over 3 laps because it's easier to concentrate for 3 laps. Just some of the stuff that they came across with, it makes a lot of sense. Like now, I'm like Sean Leggett's a typical example, and I completely understand what he's saying. You don't want to fly 2,000 kilometres to have a 3-lap race. I totally get it, right? But you can still have a really good 4-minute final, or 3 4-minute finals. To I guess crown the winner. You get crowned, but that's about all you're going to get.
Yep, no sheep station.
No. So yeah, it's a lot to take on, and it's a lot to sort of take on board and try to make a decision that's going to appease everyone. And you know that regardless of what you do, it's going to. Some people are going to think it's great. Some people they're going to find a reason why it's not going to be great. So, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I figure the best way is just put it on a list. We'll put it up on the group, and then you guys we'll do a little poll, and you can decide which way we want to go about it, and we'll go from there.
Yep, and the number of days as well. Like previously, we've had Thursday through to Sunday.
Yep.
Thursdays the setup, practice. Was it coffee?
Yep.
And then sort of Friday into it. Bormac saying Wednesday it starts. Is that because you're carrying 10,000 cars and display stands?
Yeah.
A lot of people. I know quite a few people got there on Wednesday last time, and we're keen to try and get on the track whilst we're still preparing the event. So yeah, the number of days and what we do on each day, we'd probably want to look at a little bit and make sure it all works well for the majority. Cool. Okay, what's next? So classes might be a short discussion. So classes for this year.
I think we're going to pretty much do it exactly like we did last year. I think that worked pretty well. There's no excuse now for not being able to get your hands on 2-inch tyres. You saw the post that I shared, courtesy of Jason at J Concepts. He's got a whole range of 2-inch tyres that are available. I think they're actually 1.9, which is even better.
Yep.
They go into the little rims. They look killer. Obviously, you've still got the Kyosho options. I use the Kyosho tyres. I'm up to my 3rd vintage bash now on the same set of the Kyosho tyres. I don't wear and they just grip. So we know we can go faster with the 2.2s on the early cars. The early cars just look way better and more true to form with the little tyres on them. So those early classes we're still going to keep the same as what we did last year. It worked well. And all the other eras, I think, worked spot on. I can't... Unless someone's got a really strong argument for wanting to change something.
No, I think the big one, that I saw time and time again was people knowing where they get to download the classes, because you guys had it on Facebook in the file format.
Yeah.
And then you could quite clearly see the different eras and the type of cars that fell into each era, right?
Yeah.
So I think for anyone that wants to know where do we find out the classes, that is still the place to go. Is that right?
Yep, that place we'll put it up there. It's still there from last year, of course. Also, it's on our website, so it's not a super easy URL to remember, so I can keep sharing it, but you can bookmark that. So it's always there as well. Yep. Any other ideas for making that information readily available and easily accessible to everybody? Because a lot of people don't use Facebook.
Yeah. Well, I think the other one was, and again, you guys said this, was if my car's not listed in the classes and I'm not sure which class, they can just reach out, right? They can post in the comments and someone will tell them.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. So when in doubt, if you've read the rules, like for last year and also when we circulate them with the class information this year, make sure you read them, have a good look. But of course, after that, you can always contact us. You can always post on Facebook to ask questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. But please read it first, though, once we publish it. And we'll have most of the information there. But of course, there's always extra, or was it other cars that we might not have listed? Because we're not listing every single car. It's just a few typical examples. There's always going to be the super cool funky cars, and if you have them, we definitely want you to bring them out.
Yeah. And Google, I would say to anyone else, if you don't want to go on Facebook, you're not on Facebook or whatever, I always use this all the time. You can go on Google and say, when was this car released? And they'll give you the release date, 82, 85, 86, 89. It will come up, and then you'll know what era, which is a kudos to you guys. I love the era thing. It's so good. I've been to vintage events where we didn't do that. We all ended up running the most modern cars. So we didn't run the Scorpions and the 6 gears, which are actually so much fun to drive. Yeah. So I love this format.
Well, they were the two main rivals, the Scorpion, the Tomahawk, and then the RC10 came out. Yeah. And you had the Hot Trick Frog, Aaron. There was the Frog versus the... would have been the Frog versus the Ultima. Ultima? No, Ultima came out a little bit after.
Well,
RC10
don't,
Ultima, RC10, and I think Tomahawk Scorpion.
Yeah. And then, of course, the Hot Shot Hornet.
Yes.
The Hot Shot Hornet.
Yep.
Lou's got a replica. It's amazing.
Yeah, I took it to Hodjo's thing, and we had a bit of a drive around with it. It went all right, didn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Running the world. So if those who
85
say
worlds hole on it. Yeah.
Oh, that one. Yep.
you can't race the Tamiya, it's people have tried. This they have.
Yeah, more than once.
More than once. Yep.
Yeah, so that's super cool. But yeah, again, that's it. That's what we've sort of thought so far, and
I'll get back to that one. Tires that User is actually creating and distributing as well. So that's
Area 51, I think he calls himself.
They're
Yep.
a super cool option. Yeah.
Amazing tyres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they look perfect, but they're not made of hard plastic, so they actually work decent. So it's perfect for this sort of thing.
Yep.
Cool.
those-
Yes, Captain Splat had a question about Wednesday being open for practice.
Yeah.
Good question. So last year we were still working on the track on Wednesday, painting curbs, that sort of stuff. If we get enough help and planning and we're on top of things, don't know, it could be an option. I think that would be good.
I'd like to think that we won't be painting curbs this year.
That wasn't fun.
That wasn't. I mean, that was a last minute thing that we did. We were sort of finished off the track rebuild the week before the bash.
A lot of
and,
rain, wasn't there?
so that sort of hindered us a little bit. I'd like to think that Wednesday we may be putting up some banners and that sort of stuff.
But the track could be open. Of
It
course,
could
in that
potentially,
case. Mostly. Yep, that's good feedback. We'll definitely try and do something there.
And that time of the year, it's light till quite late, so
Yeah, people could practice until, was it, almost 9 p.m, maybe 8:30.
Yep.
And also, what's this one from Gavin? Allowing 2 cars to enter for different years.
Yep.
Looking at racing if you have a catastrophic failure on one of them.
Well,
What was that
catastrophic failure.
Which is quite likely with older cars, of course. I think, is that relating to how many classes we can enter
Per day. Yeah.
per day? Maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, it's I guess the main thing is we try to make sure that anyone that wants to come and have a race has a spot, that there's a spot available for them, right? So, I decide that this year I want to come to the Vintage Bash and I want to run my 1994 car. And I only want to race one class, but of course there's 5 other people that are racing 6 classes each. Then I get to miss out because there's not enough spots, right? So the easiest way for us to get the ball rolling is to minimise and just say, okay, you guys can only enter 1 to start with. Once we've collated all the entries, 1 per day. Once we know the numbers that we've had come in, we can then say, all right, we've got these spots that are available. Who wants to run? Who wants to enter a second car? Or so that's
still
the
highly
easiest
likely
way.
you can get 3.
I mean, last year was a typical.
Get 2.
Last year was a typical example where, we opened the floodgates and it went crazy, and then a lot of people were complaining because they missed out. But pretty much every single person got to run or enter the classes that they wanted to enter. So I don't think anybody missed out. We sort of made it. We sort of shuffled some stuff around and made sure that everyone got in. So
so
it's possible.
Stressful and hectic, but
but
sort of got
it's doable.
there.
But hopefully, with the way we're going to do the entries this year, it'll be a lot easier.
Yep. What else we got? Damien was doing whippersnippering
Yeah.
last time. Yes, so I guess if we get more help in general from sort of club members or anybody who wants to pitch in and contribute leading up to the events, in particular for this sort of thing, then we can have, if that sort of stuff can get done on the Saturday, Sunday beforehand, then the track's effectively open during the week up until the Thursday. But it all depends on yeah, how many
Manpower.
people and how much help, and getting
Yeah.
everything sorted. Yeah, rain. Oh, marquees. So I've got to probably have a little think about getting the
Yeah.
marquees and tables and chairs and everything again this time. There was a few key issues with it all last time for various different reasons. Some self-inflicted, some out of our control. But yeah, it wasn't a smooth, well-oiled process. So definitely keen to get ideas or help on how we can make that a bit better this year.
Yeah.
Yep, like the tree was right in the way where we wanted to put one of the big marquees. Tables was an issue with trying to get them there at a certain time. Then we ran out. I think James bought marquees. We went and bought more tables. We still ran out. So we need to manage that a bit better. Yeah, James?
We're getting more fence this year, Andy. I know
More
that
fence.
was a problem.
That
Not
was
your
another
fault,
issue.
but
Yep. We were short on the fence line. That's another thing as well. Does people think that the fence was a good idea? We had the security guard who was awesome. He's a legend. Hope we get him back again. And then do we need the fence? If we do, all good. We definitely need more because it didn't stretch to where we were thinking. Yep.
I love the fence. I know the year before Aaron Iron Man the whole thing and stayed awake and had some great stories from his evening adventures with the locals.
Yeah.
But I think it's the fence just gives you that little bit of security, and having a professional there.
Yep.
I really appreciate what you guys did that year. Even though it wasn't perfect, it was much better.
James,
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you that Aaron does take a lot of pain medication. So, these UFOs that landed in the middle of the car park in the middle of the night, and the aliens that were roller skating around
goth
in
aliens that
tutus.
walked out.
Yeah, may or may not. He may have seen them.
Well,
If I'd have been there, maybe I didn't get to see them. Just saying.
you can stay there next time, Sol.
No, we're going to get... Oh, what's his name? He was a legend.
Yep.
Hopefully from...
Slutko.
Slut.
Was it Slutko?
Yeah, something like that. I have to look him up. I've got him recorded here. Organised by the McClures, which was super amazing. So yeah, we'll try and do that again.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love that.
Awesome. What else have we got? You want to get back to the 4-drive 89 revival?
Well, we touched on it at the start, but I'm not sure if the sound was working.
Well, your sound was working.
Well,
Mine wasn't.
just for those that obviously weren't either on the stream yet or couldn't hear, I would just firstly, I'm super honoured to be asked to help, and I'm also very aware of what I've signed up for because,
Thanks, James.
as Andy said, and I think Andy, you did such an amazing job last year, dude. Like anyone that was at the event that saw the cars, and then B saw them actually running, and then see the way that you guys orchestrated it with every driver being announced and the clapping like they just did in the Worlds. If you've ever seen those videos, I just had so much fun watching it, and so I'm honoured to be asked to help. And so we're doing this year. Last year we did the 89 two-wheel drive, or I say you guys did that. Phenomenal job. It was great to see them running around. And then this year we're going to do the 89 four-wheel drive. So the cars from the 89 IFMAR that were in the A finals, and we've got the list, and Andy got everything together for us. I'm running point. We got some amazing volunteers. We've had a couple of switch outs, but I'm confident we're going to get this across the line. We got backups to the backup, so it's going to happen regardless. And I know, Andy, you were the backup to the backup last year, so I'm happy to assume that role.
I
That's
ain't
what's
building
needed.
5 cars this time, that's for sure. I'm going to
so-
build none. That's it.
No, you'll just get to drive them. I'm going to look forward to seeing that.
Awesome.
So I took the lead, and I'm doing Masami's 89 Yokomo. So this is actually an original replica of his car with original parts that I had. And you remember we did a photo op at the first bash where you had your
Yes.
Yep, that
89?
was a great. Yep, you had your 89
89
RC10
two-wheel
and I
drive.
had this, and I had the 91 way before all the
The
A
Mix, the
re-releases.
Mix 91, I think.
Yep.
You had.
And then Bash 2, you guys gave me a nice little trophy for this, and I really appreciate that. It's sat right next to my monitor right there.
Awesome.
And then, and I think I said this before, but I'm not running this. There's no way we're running that.
Don't trust that one.
So I built a replica of the replica as Lou put it. This is the Riri 870 Yokomo, super modified as Masami Misaki did. So it's got the widened arms, the rears are on the front. It's got the nylon rears. It's got the low profile offset wheels. So it's like the maximum width allowable, which is it's basically a 91 spec yoke that they ran in '89. I think, Andy, this is one of the bodies I got from you when you did your re-releases.
Oh, yeah.
We're still confirming motor and ESC sponsorship that you guys put together last year, but I think a bunch of us have got super excited about running modern nickel metal hydride cells, but with vintage wraps, which you have to do on this chassis because he had such a unique format.
Yeah, look at that.
But I know a number of the boys are excited about that, so we're going to do that. And then this is, I said this before, but it's Berserk RC's replica for the Riri 870, which is a phenomenal. I've actually got 3 different versions of Masami's chassis, and this is one of the best. So if you don't have one and you want one, little plug out to Berserk RC. Awesome. They do a phenomenal job. And
also a VB5 sponsor, Berserk RC.
Yes, yeah. Paul does a great job. And then this has just got stand-in tyres, but I think you guys will announce. Last year we had was it J Concept sponsored
J Concepts
the tyres?
double Ds and the rips on the front for the tool drive.
Yeah. So motor, ESC, and tyres pending, but I'm also running it, and I think I showed this earlier. We had a little giggle, but I'm running vintage sticks.
Brilliant.
So this isn't. I don't think this is what he ran in '89, but it's the KO Pro Esprit, which is
pretty
iconic.
Indicative. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to run this, which will be hilarious, or anyone else that gets to drive it, because I think we haven't finalised who's driving the cars, but we got the list of the builders, we've got a list of the cars.
Yep.
They're going to be some phenomenal cars, and I'm excited to give it a go. I've not driven sticks since 2003. What's that? 23 years. So that'll be fun. Yeah, so it's going to be great. And again, I think you guys, it's such a great part of the event. I mean, we talk about how the sort of archetype is very much the Goodwood Festival of Speed, and I love watching those events where you see the vintage cars like doing those exhibition races, and the fact that we've been able to recreate that last year was phenomenal, and I'm just honoured to be a part of it, so thanks again. And a quick shout out maybe to the guys that are building. We've got Jason Bormack, he's doing Mike Dunn's AK Pro Radiant. Hara's going to be doing Satoshi's Yokomo YZ70. Rory Cole's going to be running Rory Cole's original Pro Cat. That's going to be. Cool. I mean, come to the event just for that. Come on.
Yeah, cool.
Even if you're not driving.
Yeah.
And we've got Steve Olson doing Phil Davis's Shimaka Pro Cat, and we've got Jeff Primer doing Jurgen's Pro Cat. Aaron on the line here is doing the monoshocked J Halsey. Which, fun fact, when we put this list on the website for everyone to volunteer, like five people wanted to do J's. It was the most requested replica. Aaron was first in best dress, so we gave it to Aaron, and not just because he's part of the bash, but he was genuinely first. And then we've got Lou. You mentioned you've handed the baton for
Ash Coble's going to do the Butch Clover car.
So Ash Coble, big shout out, thank you, Ash. And then we've got Nathan Marsh and Rick Howitt's Laser ZX, and he's on the hunt for the right wishbones. These guys are taking it very seriously.
Yeah. Marshy was into everything.
So if anyone has the right webbed wishbones for the ZX, give Marshy a hit him up.
Wow.
And we got Darren Retro RC doing Cliff Let's Yokomo, and I've obviously done Masami's, which I'm super honoured to do that because the guy's a legend. So it's going to be fun watching him run around the track.
Amazing. Yep. That is spectacular. Yeah, and thanks again, James, for taking that on for us for this year, for us all. Yeah,
happy to do it.
Going to be another epic scenes with all of those cars running around, as you said.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping I will also have finished the four-wheel drive IFMA 85 to 95 replicas. I'm so close.
Oh,
I
wow.
got one. I got one car that I haven't got, and I've had a couple of. I've had a couple of offers that are just too expensive. I'm trying to get Masami's 93. Is it 93? It's the 93 Yokomo that he ran works, which was a transitional car from the Pavigas car from the previous model. Um, it's a phenomenal chassis. It's just incredibly expensive right now. But I've got five of the six, and I'll have those. And last year we got someone to do a stand-in, so maybe I'll get lucky because I know. Is it Steve? Somebody is actually running that car at the event. He's got the chassis. He's done the rebuild. He's done it on the Facebook page. It's a super rare and awesome version of the YZ10, and he's going to actually run it at the event in the race. So
Oh, wow.
even if I don't get to display it, it's great. That's another example of some of the awesome cars that are going to be running at the bash.
Yeah, fantastic.
Very
And
cool.
it's probably a good segue there. And your displays as you had in the last bash and probably previous ones, where you had all of the tool drive lineup for
Yep.
those worlds.
Yep.
And as part of that, Night Customs, your business, you're coming on board as a sponsor. Yep. Would you like to show us your beautiful T-shirt and tell us a bit about Night Customs and sort of what you're about from that perspective?
Yeah, so Night Customs is something I've been running since 2013, so we're 12 years in. We specialize in 3D printed parts, so we don't do much in vintage, but we do have some vintage parts. I actually started in vintage doing, I've got a little,
Is that Sand Scorcher?
doing the Sand Scorcher
Yeah.
VW motors.
I think I might
That
get
was
that.
like our first project.
Yeah.
And funnily, like the latest one we're doing is we're doing the wide eye mod for the, lost an eye there, for the Sand Scorcher. So that'll be out by the event. But we do 3D files and you can print them yourself. And if you don't have a 3D printer, we have a global network of printed people that you can buy the parts directly from. And we also AMain's our exclusive US distributor. So if you want to buy from AMain or you buy from AMain, you can buy many of our parts from them. But we're excited to sponsor the event. I mean, we've been coming since Bash 1. Most of what we do is more the crawler scale, but we do drift, we do vintage. The vintage stuff is mostly what I use. So we've got hot shot bumpers, big wig parts, a bunch of stuff that people sort of have needed that actually, thanks to Cookie, we figured out how to do 3D printed parts that we could actually run. All comes down to the right material, the right printer, and the right orientation on
Angle.
the print
Yeah.
bed. Yeah, but you obviously have figured that out, and thank you for sharing that with me. So we have a number of parts, and I ran my hot shot at the bash last year. Had a Night Customs bumper, a Night Customs rear shock tower, and a bunch of other like period correct hop ups. So that was a lot of fun to drive, and I got a few more tweaks. And this year I think it'll run a little bit better. But yeah, we're super stoked to support, and thank you for the privilege of doing that. And we're going to try and figure out something fun for the event, so that everyone can have a fun little takeaway when you turn up.
Oh, brilliant. Ooh, little tidbit. Looking forward to that.
Yep.
I think Hayden might be the one with the WCS that you mentioned earlier, James.
Was it Hayden? Yeah, thank you, Hayden.
Looks like it. Yeah.
Yep. Great build.
Yep. That'll be cool. This is Captain Splat has printed the June buggy parts.
Nice, that's a popular one, yeah. I'll be showing that at the muster, because they've got a driver award, and that's got quite a visible driver that I spent a lot of time designing. So I'm hoping that I'll be in with at least a shot of the concours on that one.
Ooh, look forward to that. Actually, yeah, good point. There's a few of us here all of us here, I believe, going up for the muster again this year. So yeah, shout out to Jenno Marshy and everyone up there that's running their vintage event. That was brilliant fun last time. We're all there.
Yeah, be my first time, but we just got to nail down this accommodation, right? We've got to find a castle.
Yeah, we need a castle.
Yeah, we need a
Accommodate
castle.
the masses.
Anyone in Brisbane with a castle on Airbnb, get in touch.
Yeah, near the track. Yeah, so that's obviously the other massive vintage event in Australia, which was super cool last year. Was it Lou, Defina, who else? Coble came up with us. Bormac, of course. Yeah, that was awesome. Chris Fortier has the actual WCS. So yeah, Hayden and Chris coming over from New Zealand again.
So it was Chris. Yeah, I think it was Chris. The one. Chris was the one I tried to buy. That's for sure.
Oh, okay.
And I offered him a ridiculous amount of money, and he said, "No, I'm racing it."
Think about it.
And I couldn't blame him, to be honest. It's what he's got is awesome, and I'd run it too. So good on you, Chris.
Brilliant. Yeah. So shout out to those guys again, making the trip over from New Zealand once more. Sean's keen to catch up as well.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. So I was definitely interested in that point you said, James, around the sort of printing. I don't know, what do you call it? I'm sure there's a good term for it, like the sort of distribution of printing supplies. So you're creating the designs, making them available, but then you've gone that extra step, which is to get a whole array of people that can print your parts around the world.
Yeah, we basically have it's a subscription service, and if you have a printer and you want to try and make a little bit of money on the side, basically the subscription gives you the rights to sell our files printed. So you can't sell our actual files, but you can sell prints of our files, which was sort of quite unique in the marketplace for RC. Other categories have done it, like Warhammer and miniature collectibles, but we were the first to do it in the RC space. So just it allows, if you've got somebody in your community, wherever you are in the world, and they've got a 3D printer and you want something that we make, there's nothing better than getting your friend with a 3D printer right there to print it for you, because there's so many different, and as Andy will attest, there's 100 ways to print something. There's 100 materials, colors, types, and they all have pros and cons. And be able to work with somebody locally to figure that out and get out exactly what you want, and then support your local guy. That's just what we're trying to build. So we have over 100 people globally in literally every country in the world that have currently signed up to basically offer their services. So if you want to go on our website, which is nightcustoms.com, you can find our authorized network, and you can basically search by country or state, and you can see the people in that country or state that are already signed up. You can email them directly, and you can say, look, these are the things that I'm interested in. You don't need to buy any of our files. If you tell them what you want, they'll basically quote you a price. You can discuss with them firsthand what type of material you want, because depending on your budget, there's more expensive materials and there's cheaper materials. You can have it printed quickly, you can have it printed slowly with more detail, but you can really customize it. So when you work with someone directly to do that, that really kind of helps you get the best result, and also supports the other guys in your community that have 3D printers. So it's get parts printed is the tab you're showing there. If you click on that, then you can search by name, location, and you can see everyone listed there. And we're supporting hobby shops, so we sell directly to A-Main, so you can buy our stuff from A-Main, and A-Main actually distribute for us in the US. So if you have a local hobby shop that wants to buy our stuff printed, they can buy it from A-Main at distribution prices, or you can just find someone local to you that has a 3D printer. So you just search everything there, and that gets you where you need to go. Or you can just search by a file, so you can search by genre, model type. Everything we do when you buy our files, you don't just buy the file, you buy the G-code. So everything's set up ready to print. And we've set them up for Bamboo, Slicer, and for Prusa. And actually neither of those slices, regardless of what printer you've got, if you've got that slicer, you can select your printer. So it's just a great way, as Andy will know, the art of getting a really good 3D print is not just the material on the printer, it's the orientation, the layer height, the supports. And we basically give you a sort of off-the-shelf recommendation that gets you started. So make it easy to get started if you're new. And if you know exactly what you're doing, you're an expert, We give you the master file and the STL, so you can set it up exactly like you want. So we just really try and support and sort of promote 3D printing within the community, whether it's racing, scaling, drifting. Tomorrow I'm going to go do some drifting at Vic Drift. We've got a new product coming out, which if you want a sneak peek,
Of course.
So this is our new product. This is not vintage, but vintage inspired, because who doesn't want a good driver in their car? So this is a universal drift kit. You can't quite see it, but what this allows you to do is put an interior. It's a drift interior that will fit in almost all drift bodies. And we've tried it with a number of them, and we've yet to find a body it doesn't fit. So it lets you add the roll cage detail, which, if you're into drifting, it's a lot like the early vintage RC, and definitely like the scale crawling, which is more about scale accuracy. And you want drivers, you want roll cage details. I mean, the body this is mounted in has got the world's smallest screws to hold the fenders on. That wasn't me. That was another company. But that's sort of the extent of details that these guys put in their bodies. So we're doing that tomorrow. We'll be at Vic Drift RC. That's going to be a lot of fun, but that's all what we do. We might have some, like I said, we will have a fun little giveaway for everyone that comes to the Vintage Bash, just to say thank you. And we've got a vintage post, we've got a vintage banner we've made up, because this is a modern logo. We felt like we needed like an 80s logo, so we've.
Awesome.
If I had to hand draw something back in the 80s, what would I have drawn? And I think, well, you've seen a sneak peek when you did the initial announcement. That's the retro logo right there. Just this is too modern. You can't show this. Yeah. It's not in the spirit.
I'll have to go back and rewatch the stream.
Yeah.
Would it be looking something like this?
No. You've got it on the Facebook page. I can't share it. That's me in California. It's my spirit animal right there.
By the fire.
That's at Proline by the Fire. I'll be back there in it's November this year, which will be a bit cooler, which is good. That's an epic event. It's the IFMA Worlds of going slow. Like if you haven't done RC crawling, you can't believe how much fun you can have going so slow. It's the best. It's the opposite of what we do. But it's sort of how I got into. I mean, many of us, right? When the early Tamiya's were as much as there were scale models as there were performance buggies, and obviously it evolved. I think you can see that evolution on my shelf. But the Rough Rider looked like a real Baja buggy based on a VW suspension, and they try to replicate that. And that's always just stuck with me. And you've got it there. Look at that.
Yeah, they're modelled. Pretty closely off the real cars back then.
Yeah. We'll get you a scale motor for the back, Andy. But
yeah. Look at that. It's naked. There's nothing.
Naked. They didn't do it.
That's terrible.
Started the whole damn thing. That's what started it for. Yeah.
I'll definitely get that Scorcher one for my Scorcher kit. That's for sure.
Yep. Cool. That's what we do, and thanks for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Probably getting close to the end. Talking of sponsors, probably just want to give a shout out to early days. We've got some of the sponsors coming on board again for this year to support us all, which is amazing. Which includes J Concepts, Hobbies Direct, Blockhead Motors, so Jun with Metro Hobbies.
Cool.
We're hopeful that Jun might be able to join us again this year. So not confirmed, but looking good. Who else? We've got Model Engines, Fan RC.
Nice.
Yeah. Got Berserk RC.
Awesome.
Some random company called Grand Prix 3D. And we've
very random.
Yeah. Don't know what the hell they do. And also Superstock. So it's Thomas up in New South Wales. So he's sort of new on the scene in terms of running his RC business. He's got a small range of vintage products so far, which he's hoping to expand.
Cool.
And so in addition to yourself, Night Customs, I think that's our list so far. We're hoping to get a few more as we go through the months.
We just got Kyosho, Yokomo, AE, Tamiya to go, right? Once you got those guys nailed down.
Yep. Can you
Well,
organise that for
AE,
us?
technically, AE may be involved with model engines. So,
Nice.
Yep.
That's brilliant.
Yep. And then Kyosho potentially as well as at Hobbies Australia. So we'll see if those guys are interested or not.
Yokomo, who knows what the future may bring.
Yeah, Yokomo.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah, so there'll probably be a few others there, especially ones that are supporting
Yep.
us last year as well.
Yep.
We'll see if some of those other guys are coming back again.
Nice.
Yep. And that all helps us pay for all the expenses and to run the event, of course, to make it happen, including the RC Race Media guys who just do an unbelievable job. I'm sure pretty much all of us have seen their work, and obviously everyone at the Bash last year would be aware of them. So it's pretty
good.
spectacular.
So
It really
good.
adds another level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that if you can't make the Bash, which you should, the coverage was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unreal.
So pro.
Yeah, so pro.
Yep. So those guys are very keen, locked in again for this year, which is brilliant.
Cool.
Cool. What else we got? There's a couple of other. Oops, not that one. Well, actually, what was that one? Gavin.
YZ5 There you go. That's how you do it. That's exactly how you do it.
Yeah.
Bring the car you want to run, and if you think it's not going to make it, you bring a backup.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, 93 World WCSs everywhere. Marshy's got one.
They're teasing me.
Yeah,
That's the car I need.
there you go. Marshy.
Okay, here's
Bargain.
the deal. I'm bringing cash to the event. If I message me beforehand, but I'm
There you go.
leaving with a WS. I'm leaving with a 93 WS.
Yeah, it's going to happen one way or another.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Stuart's got a new term for your business model, James.
Not
Drop
drop
printing.
shipping, drop printing. Oh, I like that. That's great.
Yeah, drop bears, drop printing.
Yeah.
Cool. What else we got? Track video again. Well, Mac, with talking of videoing.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
that was
Bull
great.
Mac's probably done what the most video and media coverage of all of the bashes over the years, which has been incredible. I've done a few little videos, but knowing the amount of effort and time and sort of investment into it all.
Jason's slow-mos are the best.
Yeah.
He gets the camera on the stick.
No, I don't know how he does it, but that is in mine. I'm always like, "Where's my car in slow-mo? Where's my car in slow-mo?" And I'll go through every video, but along the way you see everyone else's car and how good do they look? They all look amazing coming past. So good. That's like that's the highlight of the event. Seeing all those cars in slow-mo. So great job, Jason. Really good job. I don't know how you do it, but it's awesome.
Brilliant. Yeah. So that's become a big part of the bash, Bormac, like his displays and all the media that he does.
Yep.
And we've talked about it a lot over the last year as well in these lives, in terms of having a record of all this stuff, because we're all getting older, and the vintage scene will probably not be around forever. It'll disappear at some point. So it's pretty cool
what?
to have this. Oh, sorry, James, didn't you know? Yeah.
No.
It's going to go forever.
Go forever, man. Don't break
So
the
yeah,
bubble.
it's awesome to get this record of all this stuff and all these cool cars and the stories.
Yeah. And well, shout out to Scott, right? Because he went round and did some phenomenal interviews.
Yeah.
Scotty guy. Yep.
Yeah, he did some
He's locked in as well, so he's coming back
Great.
again for this year.
great.
So I've forgotten what that was relating to. We all do, James. Don't know what that one was. Sorry.
Oh, we all look for our cars in slow-mo?
Oh, yep. Makes sense.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's the best. It's like, that's the Tamiya video moment when they did it in slow-mo and I didn't realise till later on.
Over the sand dunes.
Yeah.
All of it, every single one, right?
Yeah. We just need some American commentary.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Scotty to put on his American accent.
Yeah.
There's got to be an
Scotty
AI Tamiya voice. There's got to be the AI Tamiya voice. We can just
The
Yeah.
80s Tamir.
text to voice,
Type it
Mr.
in.
80s Tamiya Cheesy. That guy was brilliant.
Oh, we'll get Keith back again.
Oh yeah, Jason, is Keith coming? Bormac is
I think
Bormac.
we're going to
for
start
Bormac.
working on him very soon.
Yeah.
right.
Keith. Yep, RC Icons.
Yeah.
We need another T-shirt, right?
Yes,
He was super generous. He brought
He
1,000
was.
T-shirts and gave them to us all.
that. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm exaggerating.
A lot.
A lot. It was a large
Well,
box, and a lot of people got T-shirts. Yeah.
It was at least like 200, easy, right?
Don't know, probably.
That photo.
Yeah, there's
yeah.
a lot of T-shirts. Yeah.
Do you guys have any of the bigger name? I know it's probably too early, but you mentioned Jun, but any other names confirmed for coming?
Probably not at this stage. We've got a little bit of a hitch with the ISTC Worlds being rescheduled after China got cancelled. And the reschedule is the week after the bash. So people like Hara, for example, it's probably not looking that good. FYI, James. So yes, that could be a bit of a spanner for people that are into that world as well.
Hang on, what's he building? Okay, we
Yeah.
need a Yokomo Wise.
So how's your backup?
We got a lot. The good news is, like, we only need two. Like, they're all Pro Cats and Yokomos.
Yeah.
except for Marshy, which I think is going to be rock solid.
Yep.
Everything else
Bormac's
is
got
like
AYK,
Bormac.
of course, so that's
Bormac.
covered.
Bormax.
Yeah.
Bormax solid. He's already got it.
Yeah.
It's all these Yokomos and Schumachers have got to worry about. I've got an unbuilt one, so I've got one as a backup.
Yeah, we'll work it out.
Actually,
Yeah,
I've
so-
got... Go on. You go first.
No, all good.
All good.
I've got as we're getting close to the end of the telecast, and we brought up Keith, and we brought up the Yokomo WCS, which reminded me of the Yokomo Works 91. I've got a little story which I don't know if I actually shared it or not, but it's something that happened last year. The year that Keith came down.
It was
So I'm
Great.
just going
VB5.
to share a window if you want to just open that up. Okay, so the way this story goes was it was 1991, and we were at the Nationals at Canberra, which at the time was the biggest off-road event in the history of off-road racing in Australia. That was the event where Racing Lines magazine first hit the scenes.
Dave.
And I used to run for a team called Performance Hobby Supplies, which there was a few of us that used to run.
Mr. Greg Collins.
Yeah, Mr. Greg Collins, yep. And at that stage, we were all running the Yokomo YZ870C. And this is before my current paint job. That's purple. Purple was a colour with a twister sticker on the side. On the lead up to the event, we'd heard that Yokomo were about to release a new car, and it was the Works 91. So at that stage, Dawn Trading was bringing in the Works 91, and Dawn Trading had their own drivers, which weren't Performance Hobby Supplies drivers. We were the opposition to the Dawn Trading drivers. And Greg Collins actually asked to get a few cars for his team drivers, and he was told that he couldn't get any of the cars till after the event. So Greg, being Greg, decided that he'd go snooping around. Now we're talking 1991, an era before the internet existed. So the only thing we sort of had to go off was Super Machine magazines and that sort of stuff. So we all went into the practice sessions with my old 870C with the Kaisho gold shocks with all the gold worn off them, and every time you used to pull the shocks apart, it was just like grey oil come out of them. You know, the belts were, you know, the pulleys, the unis used to wear out. And some of the other guys had the Works 91 at that stage. So we were racing 870C against Works 91. We were sort of behind the 8 a little bit. But they were very new on the market. And the guys that had them, and I think by memory, it may have been just, I think Andrew Bolton, who was an Australian champion at the time, had a Works 91 for that event. I think the Birtles may have had one as well, but they didn't race it. Now, Greg Collins went and did some research and got his hands on a car called the Tommy Intruder. So the Tommy Intruder looks something like this. And on the night before the four-wheel drive day, at the end of the two-wheel drive session, he went around asking people if anyone wanted to drive the car. So Lewis Solar, being Lewis Solar, who always liked to run something a little different, put his hand up and said, yeah, I'll run it. Because my 870C was crap anyway, so it didn't matter. So he had two of the kits, I'm pretty sure, at the event, and I grabbed one, took it back to my room, was up till about 3 o'clock in the morning building it. I think I may have put my steering servo in it, but we did the shocks, we glued the tyres, we did everything. And we had 2 cans of spray paint. One was purple and one was blue, so we did a bit of a paint job on it. And the plan was to go first thing in the morning, finish putting the radio gear in it and put it down for the first qualifying heat. So I get up early, I go to his room, knock on the door. Hey, where's the car? Oh, it's not here. Well, where is it? Well, I've given it to someone else to run. So you can imagine how excited I was about the whole thing. And he'd given it to a guy called Neil Millard, who was a Victorian champion back at the time. So, of course, that didn't sit really well with me. And I made sure that whatever it took, I was going to beat Neil Millard, which I did. And after the fact, I eventually got my hands on the car. I got to drive it. I mean, if you look at... I'm just going to go back a click here. This is some pictures of stuff that I found on the video from the 91 Nationals. You can see the can of blue paint. We had a can of blue, rattle can blue, and a rattle can purple. So this is a picture of the car from probably at the end of 91. You can see there's Michael Chard's Yokomo, the orange, yellow, and green, which was his trademark scheme. And this is a Tommy Intruder going around. At this stage, I had it. So if you look at the car, it's basically blue and purple with a blue rear wing. Now, Keith came to the Vintage Bash, and one of the cars he brought down was a Tommy Intruder. And I told him this story, and this is a close-up of that car that I had in 1991. This is actually at Knox. And this is a car that he gifted me. So
Same car.
It's not the same car, and I'll put the Twister sticker on it. But what would the odds be that someone else in another part of the world decided they had a purple can and a blue can of paint and rattle canned it the same way?
Could they have seen it in a mag?
I don't think so. No, yeah,
amazing.
Wouldn't have made it.
What?
The magazines were black and white back then, so yeah.
What?
So I told him when I told him the story and showed him the picture. I thought it's just me telling him the story about the car, and I saw his car going around and it was bouncing everywhere, and so it was on his bench, so I just grabbed it, and he tightened up the shocks too much, and his steering linkage was dragging, and the ride height was all wrong, and I couldn't watch it, so I just, I didn't even ask him. I just started working on it and did the whole thing, right? So as I was putting it back together, I broke a part on the car, and I didn't know what to say, right? Because I didn't ask him for permission to grab the car off him to work on it, let alone, having to go and then face him to tell him that I'd broken a part. Anyway, after I told him I'd broken a part, he goes, I've got a bag full of bits, so it shouldn't be a problem. So we go through the bits and I find the right part, put it all together for him. He goes out and does his heat, and the car looked the best it looked at the whole weekend, right? Because the suspension actually worked. When he let go of the steering, when he let go of the steering, it actually started going straight again instead of staying to one side. Anyway, I watch him do his whole heat, and then he marshals, and then he comes back, and I'm sort of watching him because I thought, I'm not sure, like I broke the part and I felt bad about it, and I'm not sure how he's taken this, right? So I'm sitting on my bench and I'm watching him, and he just like rips the body off and starts pulling all the radio gear out of it and everything. And I'm like, oh no, like this guy's lost his shit, right? So I couldn't watch anymore. I snuck myself over there and I'm like, Keith, what are you doing? And he goes, I'm taking all the radio gear out of it. I said, why? He goes, because I'm going to gift you this car. He goes, I can't take that. You've told me the story. You've got to have this car. And I was pretty speechless. But yeah, awesome. This is a car that I don't know if I'll run it this year at the Vintage Bash, or maybe I'll run it at the Muster. But it's a true story, and yeah, I've got the Tommy Intruder, which eluded me in 1991. 35 years later, I've got pretty much a replica of the same car.
But Lou, isn't also there's a little extra bit to this story, which I think's, which is that Keith was supposed to give this car to somebody else.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
That your car had to go to somebody else. Now you get the car instead of it going to somebody else. So it's all full circle.
Yeah.
I know Keith looked after the other guy, and I know Keith. He would have really looked after the other guy. But you finally got it all full circle. That's an awesome story, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Not a lot of people know the story, but it's it's a true story, and that's how it went down. But it's a shame we never got to run that car at Canberra, because it would have been a weapon. It was such a good car.
Yeah, Muster. It's got to be at the Muster.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Teaser.
Oh, it's such a tease.
Yeah.
Such a tease. Yeah.
So I thought you guys may like that.
Yeah, that's brilliant. A few questions here from Rick. Gourmet Cafe, always. Barbecue roster. Good idea. We need volunteers. Yeah,
we'll get absolutely.
So we'll need to work that out for sure.
Absolutely. If you decide that if you want to help out on the barbecue, by all means, any help is greatly appreciated.
Yes, and all that in terms of funds, that all helps the club, the Knox RC Car Club.
Yep.
And that is a big part of the club to keep going and improving, is the money that we get through the barbecue.
Yep.
T-shirts and merch. Good question. T-shirts are always available. Look, the Bash T-shirts are always available.
Yep.
That Tony Gray has created and put on the shop. I'll find the link in a sec.
And is there an official Bash 5.0 T-shirt? Have we got a new design from Tony?
There is. Yep.
Has it been announced?
I will bring it up. Oh, here we go.
We get a small kickback from the sales, which goes back into the Bash.
Nice.
Yeah.
It goes to a good cause. And also we have a Gourmet Cafe T-shirts also available on the site. So.
Oh, yes. So, screen share, not that one. Bear with me.
Nice customs. Look
at the subliminal sponsor message.
There's a sale on Bamboo 3D printers right now for anyone who wants to get into 3D printing. Bamboo's the best. 50% discount.
Oh, the white glass. Cool. There we go. Why is that not very big? Let's make it bigger. Cool. So, as we mentioned before, it's very small. That is the Bash website. I'll paste that into the chat. Periodically, I paste that on Facebook as well, but we'll try and circulate that as much as possible. I haven't put heaps of information here for 5 yet. All of the previous Bashes pages are still there. And then we'll start adding information to the 5.0 page from now onwards. But if you go to the site and scroll down, we have the Vintage Bash t-shirts. So let's click on that. So 5.0, there it is. So you can pick your garment and colours. And
the
Lou, what
Gourmet
did you say?
Cafe.
There was, what else? Sorry, Lou, were you saying there was...
The Gourmet Cafe t-shirts.
oh, the
as
gourmet,
well.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that you can have the different logos there.
Yep. You can also customise these t-shirts. You can have a design on the front and one on the back too.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll show. Can you see me? Don't know if... Try not to ripple the wires out. There's Gourmet Cafe.
Yeah, representing.
Is that... Yep, that's what it said.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the t-shirt basically would have the front logo as it's shown, but then you can add text, you can put something on the back like I did. You can pick your... you can upload your own pictures or you can pick from what's on this site. So yeah, in terms of merch, there's that. And nothing else planned at this point. Sounds like James will be bringing some merch as well, which is super cool. Looking forward to that one. I've still got your, James, was it IFMAR 89 print, like 3D print from last year?
yep.
So if you're looking for that, it's in the box upstairs.
Yeah, we might need two because we're going to do the two-wheel drive and the four-wheel drive this year, -1. So I'm just looking back. I think I've got the other one on my shelf.
Oh, there you go. Yep. So I've got that other one. It needs gluing back together, but it's there.
Of course. Thank you. Nice.
What else? That's about it, I think.
Right.
Is there anything else that we want to cover or highlight before we sign off for our first VB5 show?
Or anyone that may be online that's got a question. Sean liked my story. I've got plenty of stories, Sean, and I bore you all. I could bore you all, but
Damn boring.
that was a cool one. So
Yeah.
It
We'll
was.
need at least one story per live stream for the rest of this build up to the VB5.
oh well, yeah, I'm sure I could come up with some stuff. Maybe we'll get Collings on for a story.
Ooh, it's dangerous.
Like why he gave the car to Neil Millard.
Yeah.
I just like that you beat him. That's so good.
Oh yeah, it's actually here. So that was you know, one of the things, I've got a pretty good memory. Some of the stuff I can still remember quite well. Here you go. So that's where I finished that event. So one of my many B final appearances.
Yeah.
But when you look at the whole thing, you know, you got Andrew Bolton, which is the guy that was running the Works 91. You got Andrew Nelson, who went on to represent Australia at the World Championships that same year and just missed out on an A final. Peter Scott, who we'll probably run into at Chargers later in the year. And then we've got... that's where Old Mate finished. Old Mate was in the C final.
Third in the C versus fourth in the B.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But I remember this final. This is Andrew Gillett, Andrew Jackson, Andrew Bolton, Andrew Nelson.
Bloody
So
Andrew.
there was 4 Andrews in my race.
That makes it hard.
And you got sandwiched
Yeah.
by Andrews.
Yeah.
And is that Clifton Young?
Certainly was.
Yeah. Stewie Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See where I qualified.
Wow. Oh, what a race.
Yeah.
Storming.
Had
to
the
towards
anger
front.
pill. Anger pills.
Don't drive angry. After racing beers. That is a good question.
Oh,
Yes.
We are thinking
Yes.
something like that.
Yes.
What do you reckon, Lou?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is the answer.
So we've tried to do a social thing, because to us, this is the gathering of the clan, the tribe gets back together. We've tried to do it. One year we tried to do the pizza thing in the hall. That didn't really work very well. Last year we tried to do the pub thing. A lot of people couldn't do it. So we're thinking of either the Friday night or the Saturday night. Just at the end of racing, we'll just barbecue and beers at the track. So instead of going back to your room or whatever, we'll just hang around. So then we're all already set up. We're all already there. We can just have dinner at the track with some refreshments from Bar Majestic.
Hashtag.
Yeah, I think at some stage we're going to have the Hungarian hitman on, and he can explain Bar Majestic.
Love it. He's the best.
No, dispensations, yeah. Everyone will get a dispensation.
Love that.
Well, testing your memory, Lou. Bull Max asking who was in the A at that event. You showed the B and the C finals.
Yep. Let me think.
Chard.
Birtles Chard. No, let me think. It was Crow. Crow was on pole. Darren Campbell was second. Chard was third. Birtles was fourth. Rick Bartolozzi, 5. Dallas Gardner was in there, 6. The last 4 I'm going to struggle with.
That is impressive, though.
Yeah. I reckon I've got a photo somewhere. If you find the first racing lines, it'll be all in there.
The newsletter version or
the black and white version of racing
black
lines.
and white
Yeah.
newsletter? Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. There was like a
Not
newsletter.
got that one.
Yeah.
Oh, grass track.
Greg Brooks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. We were also talking about that, Rick. A proper track. The grass track idea was brought up 2 years ago. Someone put their hand up to organise it and didn't come through with the goods. This year we'll ask if somebody wants to take control of that. We're more than happy to. Yep, it has to happen. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. We need help on that one.
Yep.
Somebody to take control and own it and make it happen.
Yep.
Definitely. Hectic lineup, A through C. Yep. We've got to get, was it Lou? You've got to get Darren to make an appearance this year. Is the challenge?
I've been working on him for a couple of years now. I'd love to get him down, not only on a personal level because him and I go back such a long time, but I think the event would be better by him coming down. For Darren. We had Brooksy there last year. That was pretty awesome. If we get Darren down, it'd be super cool. I think Ari Barclay is another one that I'd like to get down. I think he'd really enjoy it too. There's probably a couple of old names that would come to mind. I'd like to get Reece Birtles down. I think that'd be cool. I mean, there's at the time, a lot of us sort of butted heads, but in hindsight now, there was a huge respect for what him and his dad did, and I think it'd be a fitting end. No, not even a fitting end, but it'd be cool to have him as part of what we're sort of doing now.
For sure. Yep. Well, Jeff in particular gave me heaps of help back in the day.
Yeah.
When I was bouncing off things and having my car upside down most of the race.
Yeah.
He would be helping me fix the broken bell cranks and setting my car up for me.
Yeah.
What was the first car you raced, Cookie? What was your OG proper race?
Proper race car. Well, the first car I raced was the Frog.
Yeah.
But after that, when I realised that it wasn't really a race car, it was an RC10. Yeah.
Nice.
So gold pan.
Six gear, or did you
Actually, it might have
get
been.
in?
No, it was the team car, the graphite.
Nice.
You got the,
So you had
it was the
3 gear.
graphite cookie.
Graphite, wasn't it, Duff?
Yeah, it was the graphite with the 6
Yep.
gear on the back.
Still the 6
was
gear.
it six? Oh, it was 6 gear.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
The, it was the
Yeah.
graphite.
Remember,
6
yeah,
gear.
fighting with those tiny bloody. Was it 5/64 Allen driver on the
On the-
gears to hold the bearings in the
on the
6 gear?
black gears in the 6
Yeah.
gear.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all got them. We all got them from Hobby Place. Jeff
Yeah.
organised it. Remember?
Yeah. God, Ron Luke from Hobby Place. Yeah, Reese. So Reese and Jeff organised that for us all.
Fun story for you. So I got the gearbox I've got in my 6 gear. I got from a hobby shop in California from a hobby shop owner, and he used to race back in the day. And the gearbox is like it just spins, which is anyone who's ever built a 6 gear knows how rare that is. After the bash last year, someone offered me $500 for this car, and I couldn't sell in it because I was like, I can't let go of that gearbox.
Just the gearbox.
Because I'm like, that gearbox is worth $500 because there's no way I could. This is an art, right, to build that gearbox.
Yeah.
Like,
And
it's
Jay,
got the-
was it Jay
I've got
Halsey's dad?
Jim Halsey.
Halsey's
Jim.
Jack, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got the manual.
You got the manual, but
Yeah, I've got it.
still you got to have the skill, even if you've got the manual, right?
But no, but the manual tells you how to do it. It's all right, James.
Yeah,
That helps.
All right. Or maybe because I was like, I've got a Riri, but I'm so scared that if I build the Riri, it won't work anywhere near as well as this original gearbox. So I'm kind of in a conundrum. But maybe you can help me, Aaron. There can be a win-win for me and the guy that wants to give me a bunch of money.
That's the plan.
Yeah, if we do a plan, that could be a plan.
Yeah.
I'm running at the muster, so we'll see how we go.
I'll get back to that one. Toothpaste in the gears. There you go,
Yeah,
James.
I've heard that.
There's a hot tip.
No, there was more than that.
You have to literally file down every gear, right? Isn't there like
That's
there's
what
like
I did
a
on mine. You polish every gear.
polish?
Polish every tooth on every gear.
No.
I ain't doing that.
Like, don't get me wrong. I love RC10s. Anyone who knows me knows I love RC10s. But I remember the first time I sat with you, Lou, and I got hold of a JRX2 off Jason Bormack, and I span it, and Lou goes, "Yep, that's how they come out of the box," and I can believe it. Like,
It's you've got to when you look at the RC10 from that era and then you compare it to a JRX2, like
they
comment.
just knew what to fix.
It's not from a different planet. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
Just put an MIP. Just put an MIP SP1 on the back, James.
yeah.
No, I'm fine. I've got my I wish I could remember the name of the guy because I'm sure he was some sort of probably local, like fast guy in California. And I knew when I bought it, I was buying something special because he was closing his hobby shop down. And it's the one thing I've never let go of. And I love running that. I think I love running that car because of that gearbox. Yeah. And actually, the car is actually a $150 eBay car that I put that gearbox in. It's just I love it. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? But yeah, loss is pretty cool too. I do concede that, Lou.
You want to invite back from Lou?
I might run. I've got the GRX2, which I love because of the trailing arm, not just that the gearbox just spins out of the box, but Jason built it. It's not mint, which is perfect for me because I can run it. It's beautifully built, but I feel like maybe I might give it a spin this year at the Bash in that class because it's the perfect car for that track.
Take it to the muster. They've got a perfect
Yeah,
class
maybe.
for it.
Yeah, maybe. I'm in the that's the 540. I think that's the class I'm in, right? What's it called?
I think they run a brushed motor with the little wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what I do. Ooh, got me thinking.
A JRX 2.5 link is an experience.
Yes.
So I'm told.
Hornet Evos.
We haven't even thought of it.
I hadn't thought of it. What is it? Probably
That'll be probably part of the grass track, I think.
Yeah.
Do we have all our friends from Japan confirmed? I know you mentioned Jun's pending, but They had such a great contingent last year.
Yeah, like Yuzo as well.
Uh-huh,
Not confirmed. Chatting. So
Okay,
yeah, we
great.
sure do hope so.
Those guys. The bit, one of those like core memories from the event was, I think I was walking up the back of the driver's stand, and somehow the event was totally normal, and then there was this random dude in a gold skin-tight jumpsuit. And then by the time I got down the stand, then Andy, you were at the top of the stand with the wig
Was it
and the full
sumo
Japanese,
suit. The sumo
full
suit.
Japanese gear.
Japanese, yeah.
The
Was it
samurai
ninja type or
sumo
something?
suit. Yeah.
With him, I think him standing next to you, it was unbelievable.
He was trying to
It was
fix
so
because
cool.
I hadn't put it on properly.
Yeah, that was
so
it. He was
trying to
adjusting.
fix it.
Yeah, making sure you weren't insulting anyone in Japan.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's start an
Or
international
showing,
incident.
or showing off some wrong parts.
Yeah, very good, very good. That was a brilliant part of the event. Those guys know how to have fun, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is that the grass track?
Yeah, that's Rick. Rick will help.
Right. Yep. So yeah, as you said, we definitely need somebody to own that. So
Yeah, well, trust me, Rick will do that.
Rick is standing up. Awesome.
There we go.
Orange tent. What was that? Sorry, don't know what that relates to. Was
I
it the
don't
91
know.
Nats? Or?
Yeah, we may put up an orange tent for a certain Mr. Glenn Grinter.
No, it wasn't orange.
Well, depends what drugs you were on at that stage, Aaron.
It was a canvas tent, a single monopole canvas tent.
We'll leave that till for another episode of the stories. Maybe we'll get Michael Bruce
Oh dear.
and Glenn Grinter on. They can tell us a couple of stories about the orange tent.
Oh my God. Well, here's a good picture I need to show you.
While you're pulling that up, Aaron, I remember you telling me the story. Hey, that's it. That's the moment right there. That was it.
Oh, where'd they go? Where'd they go?
I don't know.
Sorry, just a sec.
I felt like I was next to the person taking that photograph. That's the image in my mind from that. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
That's going to cost you a lot of money to get therapied out of your head. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, I love it. It's awesome.
There we go.
So good.
What is going on there?
I actually don't want to know.
It's the best. You know, Ash has a 3D printed version of him.
That's so good.
He brought it to the retro bash, didn't he?
It's so
Yeah.
good. Ash did such a good job. It's so good. Cool. Lou, any special cars you might be wheeling out for the event this year? Anything you're working on that you can give us a little insight to?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because you've always got, like, I don't know if people have seen it, but I've always like the progress that you ran that one year. Like, you've always got some like, but super tweaked version of it. It's never stock, is it? You've always modified
well, it's got to have something like
the Raider that you did. that
period
was fully
correct
tricked out.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, you've already seen my retro Tomahawk.
Yes, that's
So-
awesome.
Maybe that. I don't know. I really haven't looked.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at. At this stage, it's been. Yeah. Look at that.
So good.
Look at that Turbo Rocky.
Yeah, that's yours, isn't it?
Yeah, he thought he was going to drive that, and then I pulled the rug out from under his feet, gave him the Optima instead, yeah, which he loved.
Yeah, that's not a bad swap. Okay, so if you could run a 6-gear RC10 silver can, a JRX2 silver can, or a Kyosho Turbo Scorpion silver can, which of the three would you pick, Lou? And you can't say JRX2? Alright.
Yeah, there's no contest, mate.
Yeah.
There's no contest. The JRX2 is probably a year or so too new, in all honesty. So I think it was late '88 that they came out.
Yep.
But
Yep.
you can just imagine, if you if you go back through, let's say we go from the end of 86 to when the JRX2 came out. By the end of 86, it would have been, I think everyone would have been on an RC10. I think the Scorpion and the Tomahawk would have got ditched. So, the little short arm RC10 with a quirky 6-gear gearbox was what everyone was running. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, this thing from outer space comes in that looks like a JRX2 with a trailing arm rear suspension on a track that's got zero grip. Like, it would have been so much better.
Yeah.
Well, so much better. Like, they won the Nationals that year.
Took him a while to get a Worlds, didn't it? Which is surprising. He was such a legend.
Well,
Losi Senior. I know.
Let's talk. All right, 1987 they weren't there, so forget the 87 Worlds. 1989, if they'd had the TR31, Mike Dunn would have probably lapped the field.
Okay.
Because they were on X patterns and the Yokomos were on TR31S. Now, I've driven on both of those tyres back in the day, and I can tell you that the difference between them, and Rory Cole wants to argue the other way. Well, Rory Cole's full of shit as far as I'm concerned, because there is on the tracks that we used to run in Victoria or in Australia, an X pattern wouldn't even get remotely close to a TR31S. So that was chalk and cheese, right? So 1989, if Losi would have had their hands on the same Yokomo rear tyre, I reckon it would have been a completely different story.
Yeah.
1991, well, it's fair to say that the best car on the track was Kyle Reed's.
You can see it. You can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Masami's just a genius, isn't he?
Yeah, so that was just Masami, and he was unlucky too because at one stage when he had a chance to get Kyle Reed getting back into the lead, he ran into a marshal that was marshalling a car. He went straight into his foot.
He won the practice final that they used to have.
Yep.
And they still do at IFMA. And then he won the Thursday final.
Yep.
And then it didn't go.
And then it turned to poo, right? So that was 91. 1993, the Losi Double X was designed for that track where they raced at Basildon. Yep. And it was only through, I can only say it's sheer stupidity, that the associated team managed to get hold of the Hydrodrive, which then allowed Brian Kimball to wipe the floor with everybody. And Joel Johnson was pretty good at that event, but a couple of little mistakes and see you later. So they should have had 93. 1995, Yatabe Arena, well, that was a B2 show.
Yeah, and
Yep. And then 1997, Kimball come through with the goods.
Yep. Yeah, so as soon as Kimball and Losi got together, it was game over, and they got the right tyre.
But Hodup wasn't hanging around, and neither was Dunbar. So it was, it was pretty full on. So you could argue that, if the stars and the planets lined up, that Associated probably wouldn't have known which way Losi went for the majority of that era.
Well, then I'm going to go check the muster rules. See if I can squeeze it, and I'm going to run. Because I'm going to run. You guys have seen this, but you've seen these 3D. These aren't mine. For the 3D printed cases for the ESCs that you can now. Cool. They're so good. So you're running a modern brushed, reliable, not going to burn out on you, in something that looks like, Novak's the best, right? Yeah. Like a little cool orange case. So that's my next brushed ESC, just cause I was going to put it in the Masami, but Masami that year ran KO Propos, so it doesn't look right. It's just KO. You had the KO CX3, whatever it was, which took me forever to find. But
Mr. Hazley didn't.
No, I know, but
no, that's what I mean. But I'm saying
because they were there, because
excuse me,
he's the 85-4. I mean, Novak's all over it, isn't it? That's what's funny about when you see all that decade, and it is unfortunate that Losi isn't in there to lose point because they were they were nipping at the heels, but Yokomo and Associate were so dominant. So was Kao Propo in one half, and then obviously Novak all the way through, and then obviously Sanyo. I just love that, seeing that, but at the same time there was also massive evolution. So it wasn't always just the same car. There was such a experiment going on, and I think that's the fun. I just still can't get my head around, Aaron, why they were putting monoshocks on a Yokomo. Like, did they see the boomerang and go, "That seems like a good idea"? Like, what was the? I don't understand.
Well, they reckon it was better.
There's actually a reason.
What I just don't. I'm not that good an engineer to understand what the reason was. Well, you got. Oh, yeah, there you go. Cookie's got the. But that's the old model. That's the earlier car. Yeah. Let's take this and put a monoshock on it.
Yeah, because that's what worked 3 years ago.
But
go on, Aaron. Because you said there's a.
No, there's actually a reason. And have a look at Klober's car and look how fast Klober was at the '89 Worlds, and how it was on the front of his car. And the Americans all back to back the cars.
Yeah, everyone apart from Masami was running it.
Yeah, Masami didn't because he was a Yokomo.
The two Japanese drivers had the normal shocks, and all the Americans had the monoshocks.
Yeah. All the Americans back to back the cars with the different suspension on it and ran that front monoshock. And if you also looked at it, don't forget that the Pro Radiant had the rocker on it, and the rocker's just like a monoshock.
Yeah.
The moustache on that front shock tower works like a monoshock. Yeah. And that's what the guys ran. Yeah. So there's actually some real good engineering behind running a monoshock on certain surfaces.
Yeah, but Lou, even because Lou, you came up with that unique manta ray top force thing.
Yeah,
and that's sort of like a monoshock, right? In that you've got a little bit of rock.
It's the moustache that Aaron mentioned.
Yeah, so that's a similar concept.
Actually, we can do that. We can bore everyone at the next YouTube,
good.
And we can touch on the Tamiya Top Force story because most people have already heard it 20 times, but why not make it 21?
21 times.
Yeah, just go big, round it right out, Lou.
Yeah.
At which point are we giving Bormack an award for him always bringing the biggest, best presented collection?
Oh, when the beers come out.
Yeah.
When the beers, okay.
It's a lot of beers.
That's such a good job. It's a great photo. Look at that. Amazing.
Yeah, pretty incredible history.
Yeah.
He's in the chat, right? Is there a car Jason doesn't have or has never had? Do you know?
I think that's a no.
There you go, Bormack. If anybody's still with us at this hour, what haven't you got? Because it's going to be a short list, I would say.
Yeah, it's got to be, isn't it? Because he's got multiple and they're all awesome.
Yep.
All awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else is still online.
Back in 1 second.
It's quieting down a little bit.
Yeah, it's nearly time for this little duck to go back to bed.
I reckon. Oh, here we go. What have we got? Oh, there you go. It's a good question. He's got to think hard.
Yeah. Real hard.
I'd go with no, Jason. It's just easier.
Yeah, he's like, no, got them all.
Nah, I'm gonna say like it's gonna be something like a Ford F-150 Ranger or like your Tamiya Rough Rider. It's gonna be like one of the more
normal cars.
Yeah.
Gav's still here
like,
as well. Thank you.
Still here, chaps.
Yep. There's Mac. Oh, he wants to know how
Aaron,
much for a Zerda as well.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Those are cool cars.
What were you going to ask, James?
How far are you on? Like, have you figured out this shock, the monoshock yet for your 870?
Yeah, and I'm machining it up.
Oh, nice.
You need.
It can't be printed. But they were white nylon.
Yeah.
What's that?
The FRP ones, these ones, but
yeah, no, he
the originals were nylon, right?
Yep. So I've got tough null coming, and I'm going to machine them up.
Nice. That's going to be awesome to see. And then it's got wider arms, but not as wide as Masami's because they still had the deep dish wheels on them.
No,
didn't they?
the front was the rears. The back looked like the standard arms, but in blue. So there was something funny going on.
Yeah, but then they're the deeper dish wheel. They're the deeper dish wheels.
Yeah, the back had the deep dish wheels, but the fronts weren't. So it looked like they were. They looked like one of the photos I've got is a combination of the rear arms on the front and some funny blue nylon rear arms on the back, but they still ran deep dished rear wheels. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Because they had to fit in the box, didn't they? So there was no way the cars could be wider than
the box. Yeah,
the old scrutineer box.
Yeah, that's
Love
right.
that.
You put it in. You got to put it in. It's got to roll down the slope.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just thought it was a.
No. There was the scrutineering ramp. You put it in. If it didn't roll down by itself, you're in trouble.
Dude, I was racing at the local Scout club hall on carpet with a grasshopper with a 360. I didn't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
So if you look at the back of that car, the rear wheels are dished in. So they were running the normal two-wheel drive. Yeah, the two-wheel drive rear wheels, but they were running the wider fronts.
Oops.
Yeah, like you said, the longer the rear front arms on the rear front. That's how they got that.
But they got a blue rear arm.
Yeah.
All of them had a blue nylon rear arm. So there's something weird about that car that I haven't worked out yet. You see the big chunk of nylon they machined for the monoshop?
Yeah. It's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And you got the Marlboro McLaren paint job.
That's Butcher's one.
Yep.
It's the best. The best.
Yep. We'll have was it the Butch car in the 4-drive?
Yep.
Whoops. That's not going to
And your
shut
Butch
very well.
two-wheel drive. Yeah, that doesn't shop real well, Cookie.
There we go.
Oh, look at
Two-wheel
that.
drive one.
Cookie, do you think we'll be able to bring the two-wheel drives and have them alongside the four-wheel drives? Are they all still together, or did they get split up and sold?
Mostly, I've got Cliff Letts up there. Wait a minute.
Nice.
There's the Masami. There's Cliff Letts' car.
Oh.
Yeah. Cobal's got the Halsey.
Jason's
and
got
Jason's got
Jamie's.
the Jamie Top Cat, of course. Yep.
I've got Craig's.
Yep, and Lou's got was it at least two or three of the Lossies?
Yeah.
What else was there? The Rory car. That one's copped it a bit. Who's got that? I think everyone's got sorry, not Rory, but the Drescher car. That was,
yeah, no, I've got that still. I haven't pulled it apart.
Yeah,
so
you
it's
got
still
that.
there. Yeah.
I think Lou's got half of because I had two of them
team.
for different purposes, and then I've still got half of one of Lou's.
Yeah.
So we've got to get that back together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably got a good 8 or 9 of them. Could be
Nice.
could make an appearance.
We need like an IFMAR tent, don't we? Just for the
with all your display of the IFMA years and these.
big tent.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be rude.
Lou's
I
got a
need to
big
get
team.
up early for training.
Yep, I think
Yep.
we should pretty much wrap it
Great,
up here.
Jack. Right, Jason's still got the top cap. Perfect. All right, guys. Thank you so much. That's been awesome. Really appreciate
Yep,
it.
Thanks,
so-
James.
Thank you, James.
I'll practice my sticks.
Yeah, gonna be epic. Thank you everybody online for listening in and commenting.
Putting up with us.
Yep, and it's crapping on for this long.
Yep.
Yep, Bormac's going to bring the top cat along, so we're good for that. Thank you, Mr. Daff. Thank you, Mr. Solar.
Always.
I have to remember the button to push next, and we'll say goodbye and see you in the next one. Thank you all.
Cool.